course. I hope you guys are enjoying the free course so far. I hope you've learned a lot so far, and there's going to be even more value coming into the second half of the free course. So the reason why I've stopped you guys quickly is just to let you guys know that we do offer mentoring services for paid ads and TikTok organic, because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be watching this free course and they're going to find it overwhelming. Now, the information in this free course is amazing and it has changed loads of lives, but some people struggle with the information because it's generic and it's not specifically suited to your business, so that can cause issues for some people. Now, if you're one of those people that are looking for specific help and you're looking for more one-to-one help and a lot more support, then I'd recommend that you guys check out the mentoring, because our mentoring has been around for 4 years and it is the best rated mentoring in the industry. So if you're looking for really good mentoring and a really good community behind you, then I recommend that you check out the mentoring. Now, this mentoring is based on limited spaces. We don't teach hundreds and hundreds of people. We only teach around about 10 to 30 people a month. So if you are interested, there will be a link to a type form in the cheat sheet and in the description below. So only check this out if you're looking for mentoring, and this is the most reliable place to go to if you are looking for that type of service.
So this is how you can increase your budget at the CPO level and at the ABO level, or I would say at the ad set level, whenever you see your ad set are performing. But there is a rule to it. You should not scale on everyday basis. You should do it at after, I guess, 3 to 4 days, because if you do it every day, you can trigger the learning phase and it may start from scratch. So it is possible that you can disturb the algorithm. So I would highly recommend, if you are increasing the budget and you are going vertical, I would say like you are doing vertical scaling, then in that case, you have to do this at an interval of anywhere from 2 to 3 days. I would recommend 3 days. When you're just starting out, you can increase the budget. So that is one way of doing it. But let's say if you are increasing the budget and that is not working for you, you can also try duplication method, in which if you see, for example, let's say this is an ad that is performing really well for us, for example, this one, and we see the ROAS is really good and it is much higher than our break-even ROAS. Then in that case, what we would do is basically we can click on duplicate it and just create another copy of it. So by this, we are just increasing $10 for the same audience we have. So this is how we can do the duplication method and we can scale our ads at the same time. So same thing we can apply for our CBO campaign as well. So this thing you can do is basically you can click on this, you can duplicate it, and you can also allocate like higher budget to it, so that you are basically increasing the budget and you are going aggressively. So for example, over here, let's say this audience is working really well for us. You can click on duplicate. You can increase its budget as well after duplicating it. For example, let's say I'm duplicating it and I will go with the budget. Please. You can launch it for $10 as well, but you can even increase the budget so that you can scale it aggressively from there. So that's how you do it. You see, $20 daily budget. You can even duplicate ad set at 2x to 3x at higher budget. So you can do the same for campaign as well. So this is how you do scaling part of things. But again, I will remind you that do not do it on everyday basis. That is something that you can do once your ad account is really, I would say like has spent a lot of money and it has a good amount of data. That's when you can do this type of scaling on everyday basis. Okay. The next part is, which is if you see that if yesterday's ROAS is almost equal to break-even ROAS, it is like 0.1 to 0.2 here and there. So in that case, you don't need to touch anything. For example, let's say I'm checking on regular basis, and let's say at 12 a.m. or let's say 11:30 p.m. I'm just checking out these ads and I see that, okay, this ad is performing almost equal to break-even ROAS. Let's say our break-even ROAS is 1.6 and it has given us 1.7 ROAS. So I won't touch it because I will let it perform for another day or two and then we'll check the data. So basically for killing any ad set or campaign, we check 3 days plus today's data, so that we know that, okay, it has given ample amount of time and money and it has good amount of data. And that's when we decide whether we have to kill an ad set or campaign or not. So for example, like this ad set, let's say it has spent a good amount and it has given us 1.7 ROAS and our break-even ROAS is 1.6. We won't touch it because it can perform after spending a little more or maybe for 2 to 3 days down the line. So that is something that we can do. Coming to the third part, if we see, okay, the last 3 days plus today's ROAS is almost equal to break-even ROAS, then what we can do is we can reduce the budget by 20%. And that I would say normally if it is break-even ROAS, if it is equal to break-even ROAS, you can avoid disturbing it because it may perform later on. But in case if you see the ROAS is lower than your break-even ROAS, for example, if your break-even ROAS is 1.6 and it is showing 1.5, then I would say you can try out going with 20% decrease in budget just to stabilize the algorithm. And sometime it has performed really well for us by decreasing the budget. So let's say, for example, we have run it for 4 days now. It has spent $40 for us, and our we can see that the ROAS it has given us is 1.5 and our break-even ROAS is 1.6. What we will do is we'll decrease the budget by 20%. So that is something that you can also follow. That is the third part. The last part is if last 3 days plus today's ROAS is less than break-even ROAS, and by less I mean, like for example, your break-even ROAS is 1.6 and you're getting 1.4 or 1.3 ROAS in your particular ad set or campaign, you should turn them off because they are kind of unprofitable campaign or ad set for us, because we have given good amount of time. Last 3 days plus today's data is good. If let's say you're spending only $5, then maybe you require a bigger window, maybe of 6 to 7 days, then you can decide on that basis. But normally, if you're spending a good amount of money, anywhere from $10 to $50 or more for a particular ad set or campaign on daily basis, then in that case, you're providing a good amount of data to your ad set. Till it is not profitable, then you definitely should kill them and replace them with new audiences.
Now let's create our first retargeting campaign. With retargeting campaign, we are going to target all those customers and people who have interacted and shown interest on our ads and maybe visited our website as well. So first of all, what we have to do is we have to create custom audiences before we create our first retargeting campaign. And to do that, what you have to do is basically click on all tools. Over here, you will see audiences. Go to audiences. Once you click on this page will appear. Over here, you can go to create audience. Click on here. Over here, you see custom audiences. So now let's understand what are different type of custom audiences. So the number one is people who have just viewed your ads. So for example, they have watched 25% of your video if it is a video ad. So you can click on this, click on next. Over here, you can select these options. So for example, normally we go with people who have watched at least 25% of the video. So you can click on this, for example. And now what you have to do is click on choose videos. With this, you will be able to choose all the videos that you have basically run ads for. And by this, you are telling Facebook to find out all the people who have interacted with your videos, video ads, and have watched at least 25% of the videos. So you can see these are the ads that I have run before, and I will select all the videos that are run particularly for that product. So for example, if I select multiple videos over here, so I will select on this. So I will select multiple videos over here. As you can see, I have selected some of the videos from the list. And once you do that, you click on confirm. After that, what you have to do is select retention videos. It means like, for example, last 7 days, last 14 days, like people who have interacted. For example, if I select 7 days, it means it will give us audiences and people who have interacted with our video in the last 7 days. If I select 14 days over here, it means that basically people who have interacted and watched at least 25% of video ads in the last 12 days. Normally I go with 14 to 30 day window period so that it has good amount of data. And how you name it, you can name it something like product. So you can name it as product, and then I normally name it as MOF, which stands for middle of the funnel, because this part or this audience are, I would say that they have interacted with our ads and they have watched our ads. So they comes to the middle of the funnel part of our whole funnel. So if you can understand this thing, like people who have interacted our ads and basically have shown interest through our ads and clicked on our ads, they comes into the middle of the funnel part. And people who have done high intent action, for example, add to cart, and they have basically initiated checkout and purchase, they come into the bottom of the funnel. So I'm naming it as MOF, and then you can basically name it as 25% plus video views, and for last 30 days, 30D. And that's how you can click on create. And that's how basically it can create the new audience for you. So as you can see, it has created a new audience for me. And that's how similarly you can create 75% plus video views, 95% plus video views. So basically that's how you can create video views custom audience for you. Now let's focus on next type of audience. For example, they are called as Facebook engagers or Instagram engagers. So let's take an example of Facebook page engagers. So what it means that people who have interacted with your page, and by interaction, it means that people who have liked your videos or your ads commented on your post, and maybe engaged with your page, like for example following your page. So all those activities come into the engagement over your page. Similarly, over here you can select the window size. It can be 7 days, 14 days and 30 days as well. Let's go with 30 days for now. And similarly, you can name it according. So you can name it similarly like this: product, then again MOF, then basically saying FB engagement and last 30 days. That's how you can create another audience. Similarly, you can do it for the Instagram account, and the same thing you can follow. So basically people who have interacted over your Instagram ads and basically who have engaged with your account, Instagram account. Similarly, you can create audience for Instagram accounts as well. And basically you can do this by clicking on Instagram account, following the exact same procedure, and you will find out all the audiences that have interacted over your Instagram page and basically like your Instagram ads and all. So you can do this by this option and you can do it. Similarly, you can create audiences based on the bottom of the funnel or also like website visitors. So these are called as your pixel events, because pixel is the one that can track your add to cart, your website visitors and your purchases and all. So you can click on website, and on here basically when you click next, over here you will see if you have pixel connected, you can easily find out events like add to cart, for example purchase event, and also events like your website visitors, your initiate checkout. So all those events you can easily create by clicking on website, and there you can find out all the options. So once you have created that, you can go to again ads manager, and here what we'll do, we'll create an ABO campaign that will basically include our different ad set in which we'll target all these type of audiences. So let's do this. We'll click on create. We'll again select the option sales. We'll click on next, click on manual. Over here, we can name it like this: product, click on retargeting, and then we can have ABO, and then we'll go to ad level. Now what we have to do, we have to select one audiences that we have created, one custom audience. For example, let's say we are going with 25% video view audience that we want to retarget. So we'll select this thing, middle of the funnel, 25% plus video views, and I guess that should be it. You can start off with smaller budget for retargeting audience because the audience is really small, so you don't need higher budget to target them. So you can even start with $10 or $15. You can select the date again, next day at midnight. Once you have done that, this is the portion where you select your custom audience that you have created. So over here you can find out the audience we have to select. For example, product, MOF, 25% video views, 30 days. So when you select this option over here, you have to also keep in mind that you remove all the purchasers or anyone who has visited your website, because you are specifically targeting people only who have taken action as this one, which is 25% plus video views. You don't want to target people who have visited your website, so that's why you will exclude them, because we are going to target people who have visited on our website separately by different ad set. So that's why we are excluding that particular audience. And you can select the countries, your targeting countries over here, for example. And for example, you can select your targeting countries extra over here, but I don't think that you need any sort of extra details because you have already provided the custom audience over here. So you don't need to put other details in this. Now coming to the important part, which is the ad. So for this, a specific type of ad works very well. I would say like you should go with UGC type of image ads, or you can go with videos of testimonials, because these are the audience which have already seen your current winning creatives and they have already seen your product, but they may have some doubt regarding the offer or maybe the trust. So to do that, what you can do is provide UGC content or UGC images, and along with that you can add certain offer, let's say 10% off, 20% off. All those things work really well. So that's how you can do it. So once you have that, similarly you can create ad set for each custom audiences that we have created so that we can retarget them. So for example, if I click on duplicate, then I'll come over here. So instead of this audience, now I'm going to target people who have engaged with my Facebook page in the last 30 days. So I will select this option, and now I will change the name over here. I will say FB engagement and then 30 days. So by this, I'm targeting only people who have engaged over my Facebook page, and I will again exclude all the purchasers and also people who have like visited our website. So you can remove that audience as well. And once this is done, what you can do, you can again duplicate it and select. Now you should select website visitors, and then you can remove, like for example, you can select website visitors over here, and then you can select website visitors over here, and you can remove people who have purchased from your website. You can see I have added 90-day website visitors, but I have removed all the purchasers in the 90 days. Similarly, you can apply it for your ad set as well. So this is how you create your retargeting campaign. Once it is done, once you have added all the ads inside of each ad set, you will publish it. So that's how you create your retargeting campaign. Once you have run ads for more than 2 weeks, your pixel and your ad account has good amount of data to retarget people who have shown interest in your ads. Since they are your warm customers, they can be converted easily by showing some good ads to them. So for the structure of retargeting, you can have one ABO campaign. You can even try out CBO campaign if that works for you, but I normally go with ABO campaign. This is the ad set structure that you can follow. Always target middle of the funnel and bottom of the funnel audiences. For example, like one ad set in which you can add 75% video views, and you can add 95% video views inside of it as well. But if you want, you can have 2 separate ad set with each one having these single audiences. You can have one ad set in which you can have website visitors only, and you can exclude purchasers from it. And then one ad set with FB engagements and IG engagement. You can add them in the same ad set so that the audience side will just get bigger and you can basically spend your money easily. Otherwise, you can separate it out and test it as well. So always exclude bottom of the funnel audiences if you're testing middle of the funnel audiences. For example, let's say if you're testing 75% video views, which is a bottom, which is basically a middle of the funnel audience. So you should basically exclude, for example, website visitor or purchasers from it because you're specifically targeting them only. And most important is to remove the bias from all the targeting that you are doing, because you don't want to target your buyers until and unless I would say that you're specifically retargeting buyers for new product or special offer. Otherwise, you should exclude the buyers from your retargeting ad sets. So the budget would be, I would say, normally you should have a budget of $10 to $15 only because the audience size is really small. So basically, if you have higher budget, it will show same people ads again and again. So I would say like a good budget would be $10 to $15 only. Now let's understand what lookalike audience are and how we can use these audiences in our testing campaign and in our audience testing campaign basically. So lookalike audience is a way your ads can reach to new people who are likely to be interested in your business because they share similar characteristics to your existing customers. And basically, these are the audiences that are highly likely related or have the same sort of characteristics related to your existing customer base. And your existing customer base can be anyone who has maybe interacted your ad creative, maybe visited your website, on purchases as well. So you are basically finding out all the possible audiences that are kind of highly related to them. And that's how these audiences are really high intent audience that can convert and potentially convert really well. So how you can create these audiences? There are 2 ways to do it. One, you can go again to the audience section. Over here, you can click on lookalike audiences. And basically these lookalike audiences are created using your custom audience only. So you can click on this, or what you can do, the custom audiences that you have created, you can click on anyone. For example, people who have, for example, viewed our product for let's say 25% video views in the last 30 days. You can click on this. You can click on actions. Over here you see create lookalike. You can click on this and then you can select countries, for example, United States, and top 4 countries or whatever countries that you're targeting. You can select those countries as well. For example, United Kingdom, Australia and Canada, this option. So here you can see you can create the percentage as well. Like for example, I normally go for 5 different audiences. And what this means is provide you a data of how likely the audience is related to it. For example, you can say 1% lookalike consists of people most similar to your lookalike audiences. So normally I go with these 5 audiences because it has a good amount of size, anywhere from 3 to 5 million. I guess it's a good audience. So once you have these option selected 0 to 2%, 2 to 4%, 4 to 6%, 6 to 8%, and 8 to 10%. So once you click on create audiences, what it will do is it will create these audiences for you. You see new lookalike audiences. So these audiences are basically, you can understand that, for example, like interest targeting, you have one interest for a particular, like it has a particular size. Similarly, these audiences, they are created by using your own audiences that have interacted over your ads, and basically with that they have found out similar type of people based on your engagement and all activities of your customers. So on the basis of that, once you click on create audience, after you click on this, lookalike audience will be created. You have this campaign, the audience testing campaign only. Inside of that, you can create over here. Let me just do it. For example, like this. And inside of this, you don't have to select any sort of interest or so. You just have to go to your custom audiences. And over here, you can find out an option of lookalike audience. Once you create them, you will see lookalike audience over here. You will select that audience and then that's it. And you can also add maybe countries options as well. If you have not added that into the lookalike audience while creating it, you may add some audiences over location part, like for example, United States or so. But that's basically it. And inside of that, you can add basically new creatives or the winning creatives that you already have. So it's nothing but another ad set in which you are just trying out custom audience. Instead of using interest targeting or broad audience, you're just using the lookalike audience. That's it. There is no difference between these other ad set, whereas this one, the only difference is the audience, the type of audience that you're targeting. So that's how you can use LLAs for, or I would say lookalike audiences, for finding out winning audiences for you. So now let's understand what type of audiences works really well. So these are the retargeting audience, or I would say LLAs, that are currently working really well. So low level engagement audience, for example, video viewers, 50 to 95% of audience. So you can use the same for retargeting as well in your retargeting campaign. But also when you're testing out different audiences, you can use them as the lookalike audiences. So create a lookalike of your custom audience. For example, your custom audience you selected with 50% plus views, you can create a lookalike audience for that. And then you can test out that audience in your audience testing campaign. The same thing you can do is create a lookalike audience of all the website visitor in the last 30 days. And similarly, you can do that for FB engagers and your Instagram engagement as well. And the high level engagement, these are the audiences that you can target for lookalike, because lookalike of buyers or purchasers works really well, because since the purchase is the highest, I would say like the activity that you want on your website. So any lookalike to that particular audience will be of high quality. So that's why you can use 0 to 1%, 1 to 2% lookalike audience of your buyers or purchasers. So you can basically view these type of audiences and create lookalike audiences for it. We know in 2023 that the creatives play a huge role in deciding whether your campaign or your product will be consistently profitable or not. With poor creatives, your winning ad set will also die down and your winning campaign will also die down. But with constant good winning creatives, you can scale your ads without even targeting a specific audience. You can even select broad audiences with no interest targeting, and only on the basis of creative, Facebook algorithm is so strong that it can find the right customer, the potential customers for you. So now let's understand how you can find and create some of the best creative and then scale it using those winning creatives. So these are the two type of creatives that you can use. One is the regular old style FB ads in which we have problem solution thing and which we do all the sales pitch and all, which looks like salesy and ad. And there are other recently performing and really well performing creatives, which are UGC style and TikTok style content. I would always recommend to go with this type of content because this is what is working on Facebook and Instagram recently. And you can use the old style regular ads creative for testing as well. For some of our account, these ads also work, but I would highly recommend to switch to this style whenever you have some good creatives available with you, or if you have budget to hire creators to create some content for your ads with this style. So now let's, for example, when you're just starting out at testing our product through dropshipping, you can go with the regular clips that are available over different website and AliExpress and Alibaba. So you can use the same type of style videos that worked before, but this type of structure you can follow to create those videos. So for regular style FB ads, this is something that you can use when you're just testing out the product and you don't have UGC style or TikTok style content. So for this, you can use already available clips over the internet and you can follow this particular structure to frame your video. So for example, in this, for the first 3 to 5 second, which is called as hook or the scroll stopper, which is the most important part of your video. That in that, what you can do, you can basically use a bold claiming thing, or you can have a bold headline as well, or you can mention pain point, or basically add some suspense into that clip so that people will stick to your video. So the first 3 to 5 seconds are really important, and it is called as hook. So you can use these type of clips and captions for that. And for the next 3 to 5 seconds, you can introduce your product at that time, in which you have a POV shot, or maybe product in hand, or maybe product in use. By this, you are making your potential customer feel that they are getting this product. The product is in their hand. So this is the next clip that you can have. And then after every 2 to 3 seconds, you should basically change the clips with a benefit driven caption, or showing a benefit or the product in use. So for the next, I would say 10 to 15 seconds, you can have multiple clips in which you can show benefit of your product in the caption, and different clips of your product. And then maybe you can, if you have different reviews or testimonial clip available over the internet, you can add them to increase trust factor, or you can even use some feature related captions to your product. And in the end, you can end it with a benefit driven call to action. So this is the structure that you can follow, and the video length should be of up to 30 seconds only. So that's how you can create a video if you don't have UGC style or TikTok style content for your Facebook and Instagram ads. But once you have a good budget, or if you can find out some TikTok style content for your product, definitely go in that route, because that is something that has been recently converting really well, even for Facebook and Instagram ads. So because the type of video we are talking about, they are native to the platform, they don't look salesy. So people don't feel that they are watching ad. They just see that this is another post that they are viewing. And if it is interesting, and definitely if it is related to them, they will watch the content. And that's why these convert really well. And since we have like raw footages and real people talking about the thing or the situation, rather than just jumping into the product and selling it, that is something that people relate most with the clip or with the video. And I would say, like, if you have testimonial type of video, they are really great for retargeting. And especially for retargeting, you should go with clips like that are basically talk about review or testimonial of the product, because these customers have already seen your ads, but they haven't taken any sort of action. So what you want is basically to increase the trust for your brand and for your product. And second thing, you can have some offer in maybe the ad copy or in the headline or description, so that they can feel confident about the product and the brand. And with the offer, you can basically close the deal. So that is how you can structure your FB creatives. And let's see how to test them now. So for creative testing, you can follow the simple structure, in which what you can do is you can create a creative testing ABO campaign, and inside of which you basically will be testing all the new creatives that you are launching. And you can follow this structure, in which you can have 3 ad sets. In each of them, you can have your winning audiences. And by winning audiences, I mean to say the targeting. For example, let's say one interest is one of your consistent winning audience. So you can have that interest in this. And let's say one of a lookalike audience is winner for you. So you can add this over here. And let's say another interest is a consistent winner for you. So you can add over here. So basically you have to add your winning audiences in these. And then what you can do is you can have your creative ready. Let's say, for example, you have one video, but you are changing only one variable at a time. So let's say you just have different hooks in the video, so that you can find out what hook works the best for you. So let's say if you have one clip or one creative with you with 3 different hooks, let's say only the first 3 to 5 seconds are different. So let's say if you have 3 videos to that. So this is an example. Let's say you have video 1 with hook 1, video 1 with hook 2, and video 1 with hook 3. It means the end part of the video is same, only the first 3 to 5 seconds are different. So basically the hook is different. So we are basically testing out the hook. So over here, what we have done is, in this one winning audience, we have added these 3 videos, and the same video we have added in the next audience, and the same videos we have added in the in our third winning audience. By this, what you are testing out is what sort of hook can be winner for us. And ideally, if it is a clear winner, it should be consistent in all the audiences. So once you find a consistent winner, for example, let's say in all of these 3 audiences, you have found out that a particular video and hook combination is the best performing hook. So that will be your winning hook and creative combination. And that's how you find out your creative winner. So for example, let's say video 1, hook 2 is performing the best in all these 3 ad sets. So basically that can be a winning audience for you. You can run this campaign, or I would say that this test,
for 2 to 3 days so that you are providing a good amount of data to it. So once this done, you can have one clear winner. Always go with ROAS first, like the creative that has the best ROAS will be the creative, because that is our ultimate goal. If the ROAS are same, then you can go for the CTR. And let's say if the CTR is also same, which should not be the case all the time, then you can also go with the average play time. So this is the order that you can follow. But yeah, normally if you are running this type of structure, you will find out that one video and hook combination or whatever you are testing out you will find a clear winner out of it. Now you can have this winning creative, and you can then use this new winning creative to your audience testing campaigns as well, and also like CBO scaling campaigns, and basically anywhere wherever you are testing out new audiences thing, because this is the combination, or I would say this is the winning creative for you, which you should basically use it later on. And you can also use this creative for the audiences that basically are dying down.
And guys, that's it on how to run Facebook ads for your e-commerce store. I hope you guys enjoyed Facebook ads section.
Hello and welcome to the Google Ads section of the Ecom King e-commerce mentoring 2023 free course. My name is Jorge Vieira, and I will be guiding you through my strategy to set up Google Ads as a beginner for your Shopify store. This year, we have a different strategy from what we've been covering for the last few years, and that is because of Performance Max. Now, Performance Max is a type of campaign that has recently been added by Google. It has been around for a while, but now I really do believe that for a beginner starting Google Ads for their Shopify store in 2023, this is the best way to go. And the way we're going to break down this section of the course is we're going to first talk about Performance Max. What is Performance Max and why I believe that Performance Max is the best way for a beginner to start running Google Ads now. Then we're going to talk about how to set up your Performance Max campaign. I'm going to walk you through the process, how to optimize your campaign, and how to scale your Performance Max campaign. We'll also cover the assets that you need to enter into your Performance Max campaign so you can be completely prepared before you start running your first campaign. So without further ado, let's start by discussing what is Performance Max campaign, how is it different from our previous Google Ads strategies. Performance Max is truly a all-in-one solution for Google Ads. And this is one of the reasons that leads me to believe that for a beginner, Performance Max is really the go-to solution now. Not only does it perform very well, it is also the best way to access all of the different types of Google Ads without much manual work being required. So if you've either watched one of the previous courses or you're familiar with how Google Ads works, Google Ads has a few different options. You have YouTube ads, you have display ads, you have search ads, you have shopping ads, and all of these are very different. Before, if you wanted to be on all of them, you would have to create one campaign for each of these types of ads and manage these campaigns separately. Performance Max campaigns change that because they allow you to use all of these types of Google Ads within just one campaign. So the second reason why I think Google Performance Max is the best way to go for a beginner now is because it has very little manual work involved. Unlike some of the other formats of Google Ads, you don't need to be monitoring your campaign daily or even sometimes weekly. You can just hop in once every 15 days or so to see how things are going and to scale your budget. This happens because Google Performance Max is very strongly based on machine learning. So Google learns as it delivers the ads and optimizes gradually to show your ads to the part of the audience that is more likely to convert. And the work that you manually have to do is very, very reduced. Unfortunately, this cannot be all pluses because there is this slight disadvantage for a beginner, which is it requires more spend before making decisions. Now, I would recommend that you run your Performance Max campaign for 1 or 2 weeks before making any changes at all. And from a budget perspective, I would recommend anything from $10 to $25 a day for a beginner. Let's say we use $10 a day and we run it for 7 days. That will be $70. But if we really want to be thorough, we would want to run for 2 weeks before making changes, which would be $114. Now, no, $10 is really on the low end. I would recommend starting with something like at least like $15, which for 2 weeks would mean $210 in ad spend. And this is the absolute minimum. If you have more expensive products, you would probably be looking at $50 a day up to $100 a day, which of course is a significant investment for a beginner. However, if you don't have the budget, to do it properly. Don't try and do it for just a few days and then stop running the campaign, because that is literally wasting money. Performance Max needs time to optimize. So if you don't have the budget, the best solution is probably to look elsewhere for other solutions like TikTok ads, Facebook ads, or an organic strategy. Remember, Performance Max is based on machine learning. That means it needs time to optimize, and that also means that you need to spend some money before you can consider the results or make any decisions. One of the other big advantages of Performance Max is that it is a full funnel solution. Very easy to scale because it takes care of the entire funnel for you, and all you need to do is increase the budget. Performance Max completely automates both prospecting and retargeting without you needing to do any of the manual work. So just so you guys can understand how helpful Performance Max is, and especially how impactful this is for a beginner, I just want to explain how Performance Max changes the way that you run Google Ads for your entire funnel. So usually you have your top of funnel, which is your prospecting campaign, you have your middle of funnel, and you have your bottom of funnel campaigns, which these two, of course, are retargeting, or also called remarketing. Now let's compare between Google Ads Classic and Google Ads with Performance Max. Now the old way of doing it would be you would get display ads, for example, for your prospecting, or you would get shopping ads for prospecting, and you would have to make 1-2 campaigns just for prospecting. And then for retargeting, you would use something like Smart Shopping to retarget everyone that went to your website, or you would use search ads to retarget people that have been to your website or have searched about your brand. And you would end up using a structure very similar to this, where you have 4 campaigns, 2 of them covering your top of funnel and 2 of them covering the middle and the bottom of your funnel. Of course, this is just an example, but with the traditional way of running Google Ads, you would need 4 campaigns to do this. Now with Performance Max, it does everything, and you have to do absolutely nothing. So Performance Max will take your assets, your pictures, and your videos, and it will display them across all of Google's placements, whether that be for top of funnel, whether that be for retargeting, and it does it all automatically. So one single campaign will cover all the bases for what would before require you to build 4 or more independent campaigns. Now, before you make your first Performance Max campaign, we need to talk about the assets that you'll need to prepare to enter into your campaign. So what you'll be needing is 10 to 15 picture ads. That is what I usually recommend. I believe you can go up to 20, but at least try and get 10 to 15, split between the recommended aspect ratios, 1:1, which is a square, 9:16, which is vertical, and 2:1, which is horizontal. Try and mix in some pictures from these different aspect ratios so Google can distribute them alongside their whole network and do a better job at optimizing your delivery. You also need 2 to 5 video ads within the same aspect ratios. You need your logo, and Google will ask for your logo in a few different aspect ratios and formats depending, so it can deliver them also in different ad placements. And you will need 5 headlines, 5 long headlines, and 5 descriptions. Now this part is very, very important. Don't just write up the first thing that comes to your mind. Any ads platform that is based heavily on machine learning, like Performance Max is going to draw information from the ad copy that you feed it in order to start doing the targeting. So Google will scan your headlines and your descriptions, and it will use that to figure out who your ideal customer is. So what I recommend is that you take some time to build out a thorough customer avatar. Think about it like you were on Facebook or TikTok and you were thinking about interests to target. Brainstorm some interests that correlate to your best possible customer type, and then sprinkle in those keywords that relate to your best customers into these headlines and descriptions. Remember that keywords that come earlier in the titles or in descriptions usually have priority. So make sure to use your best keywords early on in the headlines and descriptions to help Google do a better job at finding your ideal customers. Now, the first thing that you're going to need is to set up your merchant center and your ad account so you can start running your Google Ads. This used to be complicated, but now if you're running on a Shopify store, it is very, very simple. All you need to do is head over to the App Store and find the Google channel like you can see here on the screen now. Install this app into your store and follow the setup process. Setup process is going to look like this. You're going to be able to connect your Google account, and then Google will tell you what requirements you have to meet for your store to be eligible to run Google Ads. Make sure to pay close attention to these requirements and what Google asks you to do before your Google Ads account goes up for review. Because if you don't meet these criteria, you might get your account suspended or it might not even get approved in the first place. There's two things from my experience with my clients that usually people overlook. The first one is usually the contact methods. Unlike a lot of other platforms, Google is very thorough in the requirements for contact methods. Google needs you to insert at least 2 of these 3 options: your phone number, your physical address, and your email address. You need to have 2 out of these 3: phone number, physical address, email address. I usually go with email address and physical address because I don't like to have phone numbers on, but it is entirely up to you. Just make sure that you have at least 2 out of these 3 options, or else Google will probably not approve your merchant center. And even if it does get approved, it is very likely that you'll get in trouble later on. Another thing is the manufacturer part identification number, or SKU, or the identification of your products. Once the Google Sales Channel is installed, you're going to see a list like this, which is the feed from your merchant center where Google lists the products that you can run ads to. There are a few fields, like you can see here where it says edit Google Shopping fields, that you need to fill in for the products in order to optimize the listing. One very important one is what they call the manufacturer part identification number, or SKU, or just the product identification number. If you don't have one of those, like I usually don't have one of those, you need to check the box that indicates that your product is a custom product. You'll find this option right next to the manufacturer part identification number, or SKU, field within the Google app, and just make sure that you select that the product is a custom product so you won't have any issues with your products getting suspended because they don't have an identification number. Keep in mind also that Google might take 2 to 5 business days to approve the products. That is normal. Google is a bit slow at approving the products because they're very thorough in the reviews that they make. So don't be surprised if it takes a little longer than expected. But if you meet all of these requirements, you should be fine. Now, once we have our Google Sales Channel ready to go, we're going to go into our Google Ad account by going to ads.google.com, and we're going to click Create Campaign. So I'm now going to show you in my ad account here how to create your first Google Ads Performance Max campaign. So you can select either sales or create a campaign without a goals guidance. Both work. Let's go with sales now. And then you should see your purchase conversion goal here. That's very important. This should automatically be set up when you install your Google Sales Channel. And it is very important that you see it here because that is, of course, the goal of this campaign. That's what we want to get. We want to get sales. And if we don't have this conversion goal set up here, we will have a very hard time understanding which sales actually came from our Google campaigns. So click continue. And then we want to click Performance Max because that's the campaign type that we want. And then here, you want to make sure that you select the Merchant Center account that you can see on your Google Sales Channel. When you go on your Shopify store and you open your Google Sales Channel, you will see what is the Merchant Center account that is connected to your Shopify store. So make sure to enter here the same Merchant Center account that is connected to your Shopify store. And then we're going to name our campaign. We're going to call it, let's say, Health and Fitness, because that's the name of the store that we're making up. We're going to call it, we're going to do US, we're going to do Performance Max, all ages. I would recommend that you start with just one country because, again, this is machine learning. So if you start with whatever country is the best for you to get sales, it just makes it a little bit easier for Google to optimize since you're giving it a smaller sample size. So I would recommend that if you know what your best country is, you start with that. If not, you start with maybe 2, 4, 5 countries, maybe just the big 5 to try and narrow down the reach and don't give Google a very diverse set of audiences to target, especially if it doesn't have any data on it yet. So we'll start with just the US, all ages, and we'll click continue. Now here, you have 2 options. You can do conversions or you can do conversion value. Now, conversion value is something that requires data. If you don't have any previous sales on your account, no data, you want to start with conversions. And then later on, if you have like 50 sales in a week, that gives you a decent amount of data to think about optimizing for conversion value instead of conversion. If you're starting out, no data on your account, you want to go with conversions. Target cost per action means that you ask Google to give you conversions under a certain cost. And this is only going to perform well if you have data, because if you don't have data, Google doesn't know how to find conversions below a certain cost cap because, of course, it has no idea who your customers are and how much they usually spend. So Again, this is something that you can use to optimize your campaign later on when you have more data. To start, we just turn it off. Locations, we're going to start with the United States, as we've discussed. Target right there. If you're running ads for local businesses, you might want to use radius here to keep it very targeted. But if you're running a Shopify store and you're selling to the entire country, enter United States. Languages, of course, if you're targeting countries with very different languages, like if you're targeting European countries, then you might want to select English if your ads on your website are in English, because of course, you don't want to be targeting countries with a lot of speakers of another language if your whole funnel is in English. In the case of the United States, not that big of a deal. Most people in the United States speak English, so you can just let it be there and click next. Now, the asset group is very important. This is where you're going to enter the pictures that we've discussed before, your logo, your headlines, and your descriptions. So final URL is the URL for the landing page that you want to send people to, whether that be a landing page with product details page. Then images, you can add up to 20 images. Diversify on the aspect ratios like we've discussed before. Logos, you can add up to 5 logos with different aspect ratios. Try and add a few different logos. Don't just do like 5 different squares. Add logos for different aspect ratios because the placements vary a lot and you want to have different aspect ratios to be able to use as many ad placements as possible. Then up to 5 videos, use different aspect ratios to be able to make the most of different placements. And then headlines, long headlines, and descriptions. Remember, do your customer avatar, use keywords that relate well to your customers, be as narrow as specific as possible, because that will help Google find your ideal customers. Business name, put in your business name. Site links can be useful if you have more than one winning product. Sometimes you will see on Google search results some other links below the main search results that point to another page. For example, if you Google Apple, you'll probably see site links underneath the main Apple search results saying iPhone 14, iPad, whatever, different products, right? If you have multiple winning products, you can set up site links to link directly to your best product pages. Call to action, I would recommend automated or shop now. And then you can add a few more asset types here like promotions, prices, and call outs. Now this part right here is very important. Audience signal, add an audience signal. This is where you tell Google where to search for your ideal customers. So I have some audiences here that are based on past purchases because I have data on this ad account, but for you, you won't have any of this. If your account is brand new, you'll have to select new audience. Here you have these 4 different options to indicate to Google where you wanted to search for your target audience. Of course, demographics. If you have demographic data on your customers, this is where you set it up. Then data is probably not going to be very useful to you unless you have data on your ad account, because this is where you would use previous data like previous purchases on your ad account. But these 2 are the ones that are going to be very important. Custom segments, interests, and detailed demographics. If you're familiar with Facebook ads or TikTok ads, this is similar in a sense that it allows you to search for people based on what they're interested in, what they've searched for on Google. Try to be as narrow and specific as possible, because as you get more data, it's easier for Google to find customers in a broad audience. When you're starting out and Google has no data on your customers, you want to help it as much as possible find your first buyers, even if it is in a very niche down specific pocket of your audience. Because once Google gets a few buyers, it can then use that data to find buyers in a broader audience. So don't try to go broad here, try to be as specific as possible. Once you have your audience signal, you can click next, set your budget. Again, I would recommend anything between $10 and $100 a day. If your product is priced over $100, then you probably want to be on the higher end of this interval. If your product is cheaper, depending on your budget, you can go anywhere from $10 to $50 a day. I would recommend starting out at least with $15 to $20 a day. Run it for a week, or ideally run it for 2 weeks, and only then you can start to evaluate and make changes. Now, after you've run your campaign for 1 or 2 weeks, first of all, the most obvious part is if it is profitable, you want to increase the budget. I would recommend that you increase the budget by 20 to 30% every single week, as long as you maintain profitability. If you're very, very profitable, you can increase your budget by more than 30%, but I wouldn't recommend that, especially for beginners with new ad accounts, because it might cause some re-optimization and your ads might start getting worse results. And that is the most important thing that you can do to scale your Performance Max campaign. It is really that simple. The only 2 other things that I would like to add is you can go to locations here, click your country, click regions, and then let's do states here. And you can see if Google is spending money on states that are not getting you any results. For example, here you can see we got 3 sales on California, 2 sales on Colorado, 1 on Illinois, and these are the 3 states that are spending money. So we don't need to do anything. Let's say Florida was spending a lot of money and getting no results. We would then click here, click edit, and exclude Florida. Another way you can optimize is your ad schedule, day and hour, and you can do the same. You can look here and see if you're spending a lot of money on days and times that don't get you any results, and just focus your spending on the days and times that bring you the best results. But that is pretty much it for Performance Max in terms of optimization. It is very simple. All you need to do is let Google do its job, give it time, don't make changes all the time, and let it optimize, because it is mostly based on machine learning. So letting it run is the best thing you can do. 1 or 2 weeks before you make any changes. Of course, if it's not profitable after 2 weeks, there's a chance that it won't become profitable at all. So the best thing to do is either to decrease the budget and try it for another week at a lower budget, or just stop and reconsider your offer. And that's it for my recommendation for a beginner-friendly Google Ads strategy for 2023. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on my socials right here on the screen. You can reach out to me on YouTube at George Vieira Ecom, or Instagram, George Moita Vieira. Just send me a message on either of those and I'll help in any way I can. Thank you for sticking around, and you're watching the Ecom King E-Commerce Mentoring 2023 free course.
Hey guys, my name is George Gabriel and I've been doing e-commerce since the last 6 years. I own multiple brands and dropshipping stores doing multiple 6 figures per month. And on today's course, I will be covering the TikTok ads for 2023. I will be trying to be as detailed as I can, so I hope you guys enjoy. Now, TikTok is actually very simple, so let's get started. So first of all, what you need to have is a VPN if you are not living in the US and you want to target the US, right? So you need a VPN and change your location to the US so you can target both US and Canada. Now, I recommend you to use either NordVPN or ExpressVPN, and you just need it to sign in. Now, the trick for TikTok to work is a lot of creatives, right? So it's not like Facebook where you can just run with 1-2 creatives and test a product. I would not even call that a test on TikTok. You need at least 7 to 10 different creatives, all right? And to start running the ads on TikTok is very simple. You just need to download the TikTok app on the Shopify store and connect it very easily. There's a bunch of resources on that. It's really simple. Now, let's get into the campaign and let me show you how to start your first campaign. So you want to click on create. The campaign objective is always going to be conversion. The campaign name should be product name test 1, right? So you always know that you are testing the product for the first time. Now select the pixel. The optimization event should be complete payment. Select placement, always go for TikTok only. And I would stop user comment and video downloads, but I would keep video sharing. Location, both Canada and United States. Gender, it depends on the product, right? So if it's something for female, then only female. If it's something for male, then only male. If it's for both, then of course, go for both. Now, the age also depends on the product, right? So if it's something for younger people, then go 18 plus. If it's more for more mature people, then I would go 25 plus or 35 plus. Again, this depends on your product. Next is the targeting. Now, when it comes to the targeting, I start by making a ad set and target very specific interests. So here for this example, I'm making an ad set for targeting a neck massager. Right? So what I would do is I would do massagers, massage therapy, body massager, face massager. You know, I would always target 5 to 15 different interests in this ad set. Then the budget, I would go 20 plus, and the start date always start next day at midnight. All right. And optimization goal should be conversion at the lowest cost. Now, when you are done, you just want to go to the ad group name and name it interest stacked. Specific. Then we hit next. Next, we're going to the ad level. Now, in the ad level, what you can do is you can start naming it C1 for your first creative. Here, you can put in your brand name, all right? And then you want to upload your video in here. So we can just pick a random video from the library for this one. Let's just say, see an example. Let's just say it's this one right here. So this is how the TikTok video should look like.
I was getting really tired of chronic back pain from sitting at my desk all day long. So I actually got Pressure Port and I'm really excited to try it out. It helps relieve neck, shoulder, and even back pain from sitting all day long, which is exactly what I need. So it actually gives 14 different nodes that targets pressure points, and it helps loosen knots that you have so you can sleep a lot more easily at night once you're using this, and you'll feel a lot more energy because you'll be sleeping better. Go grab your...
Cool. So as you can see, this is a UGC creative, right? A girl talking about the product. This works really well on TikTok. You can also use the voiceover on TikTok. That works really well. Now, what I also recommend you to do is go to the Creative Center on TikTok. Just type in Google Creative Center and it will be the first link. And what it allows you to do, it allows you to open up campaign inspiration and top ads dashboard, where you can see the top performing ads on TikTok right now, right? So you can see here, you can filter by objective, should be conversions, likes, top 1 to 20%, last 30 days. All right. And then you can see all the top performing ads and you can get a lot of inspiration for your product. So you can replicate what is already working. Now, let's go back to the ads manager. Now in the text, usually what I do is I put the offer, right? So I would put like maybe just an example, buy 2, get 1 free, limited time only. Just an example. Now the URL I would always put in your productpage.com. Next is the website event. Now here you just leave it empty as it is and you should be good to go. Now what you need to do is after you finish the first ad, you can duplicate it, right? And you can change the video. You can just click on update and change the video. You ideally want to have 2 to 3 videos in the interest testing campaign. So what we are doing right now, we are doing interest testing. Once we figure out the winning interest, then we will move into creative testing. Okay? Then you can just click on submit. So guys, after you've submitted, you should be able to see something like this, right? So what I usually do is I have 4 different audiences, okay? And each one of these audiences have different targeting. So first of all, I have the interest specific, the one that we've done. We have the interest stacked. We go like basically the broad interests that are on TikTok. Let me show you. So interest stacked are basically, you know, the sport and fitness, health, wellness. It's like literally the first interest that you see right here. These are the broad interests. I would target 3 to 5 of them. Then we have open targeting, meaning no targeting at all. Then we have hashtags. So stacked hashtag, again, another 5 to 15 hashtags stacked that are related to your product. Now, once you do that, you want to run this test and you want to let this run, and each ad set should spend at least, $40 to $80. All right. Now, after spending $40 to $80, what you will see is either one, you're either getting sales or you're not. So if you haven't gotten any sales after spending, $40 to $80 on each ad set, again, this depends on the price of your product. So to give you a better rule, you should spend 2 times your average order value. All right. So if your order value is 20, you should then spend 40. If your average order value is 40, then you need to spend 80 on each ad set. Now, if you don't get results after spending this much money, I would just literally move on to the next product. Now, if you do get results, what you will notice is one audience, which let's say in this example, the interest stacked will get you better results than all the rest. So what you want to do is you want to duplicate the interest stack. You want to increase the budget. So go from maybe $20 budget to, so we can do it together, duplicate it to the same campaign. So keep everything the same. But what you want to do is you want to go to the budget and you want to increase the budget to 100 or 120. And what you want to do here is you want to increase the amount of creatives, right? So you want to, instead of having 2 to 3 creative, now you want 5 to 7 different creative or even more. The more creatives you have, the better the chances are that you will succeed with TikTok. All right. Now, after you've done that, you're going to let that campaign run and again, spend double your average order value. Now, if it's unprofitable, of course, kill. If it is profitable, however, what you want to do then is you can start increasing the budget by 20 to 30% every 3 days. So if $100 was profitable, after 3 days, you go from 100 to 130, right? If it's again profitable, again another 30%. So every 3 days, you can start increasing your budget. Now, this is the first scaling method, right? By increasing the budget. Now, if you see that increasing the budget keep getting profitable after 2 to 3 times, what you can also do is you can also duplicate that winning ad set and so you can have 2 of the same ad sets running and generating you sales. All right. So these are the 2 scaling methods that are working for me. Now, one big thing, guys, I forgot to mention, when you're running the ads, if you spend like $20 to $30 and you see the CPC is extremely bad, like $2, $3, and the CTR is less than 0.8%, of course, don't wait too much. Just kill it immediately. Okay. So I'm going to include this PDF in in the course as well, so you can also learn from it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed and learned a lot. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye. That's my TikTok ad strategy for 2023. I hope you enjoyed and learned a lot.
Guys, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to this part of the video. My name is Vedant Mohan, and today I will teach you how to set up your YouTube ads campaign. So first thing first, let's talk about the format. So when it comes to YouTube ads, there is two well-known format that we're gonna use today. The first one is called the discovery format or in-feed format, right? And this is the one that actually will help you to display your ad in the search results. So as you can see here on the left side of the screen, whenever someone is typing Google Glass, you have two ads showing at the top of the screen, and those one are what we call discovery ads. You have another example here. Let's say you search for a specific video and you have one video coming at the top. You would have the small badge ad here showing that it's an ad, and that's called discovery or in-feed format. And these kind of ads are pretty powerful because obviously you can retarget based on keywords, or you can retarget your audience based on the channels or the interest you want to use, and you can literally display the type of content they want to consume to make sure they engage with your brand. So this is the first type of ad we're gonna focus on. The second one is called the skippable in-stream format, and this is the one who is the most well known. It's actually the one that will kind of like interrupt your videos, and it's shown either before the video you want to watch, or in the middle of the video you're watching, or at the end of the video you just watch, right? And this is like a video that you cannot skip for the first seconds. However, after 5 seconds, you'll be able to skip these ads. And these ads are kind of like particular because here you can just put a call to action and you can directly link your target customer to a website. Okay, so these ads, skippable in streams, are the one we're gonna focus on if you want to drive leads or sale to a website, right? While the others, the one we just talked about, the discovery format, are the one we're gonna use if you want to drive people to a website. But first we actually want to trigger their attention and just make sure they will know more about our brand, right? So it's two different goals, two different purposes. Discovery is really good for brand awareness, while the other one, skippable in-stream, is more designed for conversions. Okay, now let's move forward. First thing first, I will show you how you need to create your Google Ads account. So you're just gonna go on Google Ads. Okay, so you go on Google and you type in Google Ads, and you will land to the website, and you will actually have to create your account. So obviously you need a Gmail account for that. If you already have a Gmail account, you just have to sign in. If not, you can just click on start now. Okay, so this is how it looks on my screen. I already have a couple of accounts. I will just create a new Google Ads account so I can show you the whole process from A to Z. So let's click on create a new Google Ads account. Here we go. So you can directly switch to expert mode because it will give you like more options, and that's kind of like what we need for the setup we're trying to achieve today. And you can just create an account without a campaign, so it will help you to skip all the unnecessary stuff. Now here you have to provide your business information, so you want to insert your billing country, your time zone, and your currency as well. And if you want to get like discounts, performance tips, and offers from Google, you can just tick this box. Otherwise, you can just tick this one if you don't want to get those one, right? In my case, I'm just gonna say no, and then you can submit your account here, and now you can start exploring the account. Okay, so first thing first, you want to make sure that the billing is properly set up. So to do that, you just want to click here on tools and settings, and you want to go here under the billing tab. You will have settings, right? Once you are in the settings here, you just want to scroll down, make sure you have all your taxes information here so you can get proper invoice, put your contact details here, and then you can just set up your card. Once it's done, you just want to click on I agree, and you want to submit the account creation. All right, so the next thing we want to do is we just want to make sure we link your YouTube channel to the account. And to do so, you just have to click here under tools and settings, and you want to go under the setup tab, and you will have linked accounts, right? So here in links account, you can see that you have many options. For now, we're just going to focus on YouTube. So you want to click on here on details next to YouTube, and here you just want to add your channel to your Google Ads account. So click on add channel. All right, so you just want to go on your YouTube channel, and you want to make sure that your YouTube channel is created and set up, and then you just want to take the link of your channel here, go back into your Google Ads account, and you want to paste your YouTube channel link. Here we go. Now, if it's done, you just want to select the right channel, and you want to make sure that Google understands that you own this channel. That next step, you want to go to YouTube. You will have to select your channel again, and then you can just click back on your Google Ads account and you will see that now the channel will be linked. So now you just want to insert a link name here. Obviously this is for internal use, but you just need to insert a name. So I will just call it my main channel, right? And then you just want to click on link here, and here you go. You can just refresh your page on Google Ads and you will see that the account is linked, right? So this is quite good because now I'm ready to go with my channel, which means that I will also be able to use all the data coming from my channel when it comes to retargeting, meaning targeting people who actually watch any of my video or anything like that. Alright, cool. Now the next thing you want to do is you want to click again on tools and settings, and you want to go under links account here. And now you want to link your Google Analytics account, which is quite useful as well if you have an analytics account. If you don't have it, it's actually a time to create one, because this will help you to revert all the data coming from analytics, meaning from your website, directly to your Google Ads account. So if you have created your Google Analytics account with the same Gmail address you're using on Google Ads, you will see your Google Analytics account just here, right under this tab. You just have to select it and link it to make sure it's working properly. Alright, cool, well done. Now the next thing you want to do is, just as on Facebook, you need to set up your Google conversion on your website, right? So this will be done manually, and I want to show you how to do this on your Shopify store, for instance. But bear in mind that I will also give you the link of the documentation. There is an official documentation on the Shopify website that will teach you exactly how to set up your conversion event onto your website. So you just want to click here on tools and settings, and you want to go under conversions, and now it's time to create your first conversion event. So I'm going to click on new conversion action here. So you have to keep in mind that the conversion is the event you want to happen on your website, the reason why you're optimizing your campaign. So what's the main goal of your campaign? And obviously here in this example, I'm running an e-commerce store, so I want to actually get some sales, some purchase on my website. So this will be my conversion, meaning that every time I get a sale, this will be the conversion I want, and this is what I'm going to revert back to Google. So my conversion here is going to be purchase. So my conversion is going to happen on my website. So let's click on website here. So you just have to insert your domain name, you click on scan, and now you can just select your recommended domain name and you want to click on apply. And as you can see here, we will have to add our conversion actions manually. So let's start with the first one, and let's click on add a conversion action manually. As I said earlier, we just want to optimize for purchase. So in the goal and action optimization, I'm going to select purchase. My conversion event here, I'm going to leave purchase because this is what I want. Now for the value, I'm going to use different values for each conversion, because obviously every single purchase might have a different value. But still, as you can see here, you have to enter a default value. So the default value would be $1 USD in my scenario here. So let's put $1 USD. Now, in terms of how Google Ads is counting your conversion, you want to make sure Google Ads counts every single conversion coming from the ads and not only one. So let me explain the difference between every and one in this case. Okay, so let's say for instance that a customer buys multiple times on my website, and actually he's coming from one of my ads. So if I just leave early ticked here, it means that if during the conversion window, right? So let's say here in this scenario, if within the 30 days of the customer clicking on my ad, multiple purchases are happening, it means that every single purchase is gonna count and the conversion will be attributed to my Google Ads account, right? Now, if I just select one, it means that even though if the customer buys 5 times in a month, right, and he's initially coming from my ads, it's just gonna count the first conversion. And as you really want to optimize for the algorithm at its highest level, you want to make sure you count every single conversion. Now for the other details, you can leave them as it is and you can just click on done. Alright, now let's click on save and continue. And now I will have to set up my tag, meaning my conversion on my website. So here I will just click on the setup button next to Google Tag. So, and now for seamless and easy integration, you just want to make sure the Google channel is activated on your store. So this is pretty straightforward. You just have to follow the instructions, right? And you will see that the tag will be automatically installed to your website. If it's the case, you can just use the tag here that will be showing up and you can just click on confirm. And if not, you need to install your Google tag. So you can just tick this option here and click on next. And here you go, you will have to install your tag manually in this situation as we're using Shopify. So you just select the code here. And as you can see on the link I will provide you guys, you have to go under your theme to actually install the global tab on the theme.liquid file, right? So let's do this together. So the step number one is that we just want to go under online store, actions, and edit code. So let's go online store. I will just select my theme here. And then you want to search for the theme.liquid file, which is just here. And now, as you can see here, we just have to paste the code we just received from Google under the head section, right? So let's put it after the head here, between the brackets. And in my scenario, I will just paste it here. And that's it. Now you just want to make sure you save this before moving to the next step. So now I just click on exit to go to the previous screen. Congrats, you just have installed the Google tag on your Google website. Now it's time to install the conversion where you want the conversion to happen, which means at the checkout. So let's go under the settings tabs here, and then we're gonna go on checkout. And then I will advise you to go at the bottom of the document to select the last piece of code, which is this one, right? Because we want the conversion value to be dynamic, okay? Which means that whenever the prices change, whenever someone buys something, whatever the price is, it will be showing properly in your conversion, right? Bear this in mind, because if you go for the wrong option and you go for the code just above, you're always gonna see value $1, which means that your return on ad spend will not be accurate, right? So it's very important to select the second portion of the code in this page. So you just select it here, copy, and then on the checkout page here, you want to scroll to the bottom here, and you will see that there is a box where you can actually paste a piece of code. You just want to paste it, and then you want to save. It's time to set up the campaign. So let's go here under the campaign tab, and you just want to hit the plus button here, create a new campaign, and let's go for this campaign setup. So what I'm trying to achieve here is I'm trying to get some sales on my website. So you just want to click here on sales. Now that your conversion event is set up, you can just see it here. And as you can see here, purchase is set up. Now let's click on continue. So for this campaign setup, as you really want to focus on YouTube, let's keep it simple and click on video here. And now you want to hit continue. So here you will have to give your campaign a name. In my scenario, I will give my campaign the name of the product I'm trying to test. And also I will just include the fact that I'm just testing different creatives. And then I'm also going to include that I'm going to set up the maximize conversion setting. So this is something I will explain you in a couple of minutes. Okay, so now let's take a look at the locations here. You will have to include your locations, so you can just tag those. You don't have to actually split test them. You don't have to create one different ad group or one different ad set for every single location. You can just stack those together, and then you can actually filter by language. So in my scenario here, I will go ahead and target French speaking countries. So I will just put all the countries here, right? And I will just select the language here, which is French. Now let's talk about the bidding strategy. As you can notice here, I just included that my campaign will be maximize conversion within its name. There is a reason why, because you have two options here. You can either go for target CPA, which means that you want to actually tell to Google that you can afford a maximum of XYZ. So you have to just set up an amount for your maximum cost per conversion, or you can just say to Google to do its best and just go out there and find you as maximum conversion as you can for your budget, right? So as you can see here, TCPA, target cost per action. So you have to set up an average amount that you are willing to pay for a conversion, okay? However here, as we don't have enough data on the account, we want to go for maximize conversion, and in that way we'll have some accurate data about what our cost per action will be, and then we can come back to this later and just change the conversion action here and the bidding strategy to target TCPA. So as you can see here in the bidding strategy, you have two options. You have maximize conversion, which is the one we're going to use today, and you have target CPA. So maximize conversion says that actually if you are using this one, Google Ads will automatically set your bids to help you to get the most conversion within your budget, right? However, if you use target CPA, this means that you have to set an average amount that you're willing to pay for a conversion, okay? So this means that, of course, you need to get some data. As the account is just new and fresh, we will not be able to use the target CPA yet. So we need to use maximize conversion so that Google can actually go out there, find some people who will buy, and then we'll get a cost per action. And then we'll be able to come back here and change the bidding strategy to target CPA. So for now, let's keep it simple and let's move on maximize conversion. Now you have to select your budget type and date. So just as on Facebook, you can either go for a daily budget, or a campaign total. Let's say I'm running a campaign for Christmas, okay, for 2 weeks from the 10th to, let's say, the 24th. So this is something I can do, and here I can just set up my budget. Let's say I have a €1,000 for 2 weeks. I will just insert my budget here, and as you can see here, Google will kind of like calculate the total daily budget, which is in this case €66 per day, right? However, if you just want to go ahead with the daily budget, you just have to select daily here, and you can set up your budget. I would recommend to go ahead with a budget of anything you feel comfortable with, between 25 to €100 per day. However, if you go for the daily budget, I would just recommend you to not set up an end date here, so the algorithm then can do his best to find you some conversions. All right, now let's talk about networks. So as you can see here, YouTube will display. All right, so now let's talk about networks. As you can see here, Google will display your ads on YouTube in the search results, on the videos as well. So we have the discovery and the in-stream format, just as I said in the beginning of this video. Alright, so let's quickly have a look at the networks. As you can see here, Google is going to display our ads in the search results of YouTube, but also within different YouTube videos. So we have the two formats I talked about at the beginning of this video. So we have the two most important formats covered. So here you have another option, which is Sitlinks. So Sitlinks will actually allow you to redirect people to other pages of your website. This is quite useful because instead of just having the call to action within your ad, you will also have another space just below the ad with 4 different links that you can choose to redirect people on different pages of your website. Okay, so let's say here you're trying to advertise a winter product, so you will have your main product page linked to the main call to action. However, if you want to actually promote and advertise different products on your website, you can still put them here as Sitlinks. Okay, so to create a sitlink, you just have to click on new sitlink here, and you have different options. So you'll have to put your sitlink text here, which is the call to action, the descriptions, which are always good and recommended because those will be shown on desktop, and here you can put your landing page link, right? So bear in mind that it has to be, of course, on the same domain name. But let's say I want to advertise product 1 here. I just put product 1, 50% off today to make it compelling. You can put a description of the product 1 here, and then here you put your link, product 1, for instance. Okay, so I would recommend you to actually make sure that you use Sitlinks. If you don't have multiple products on your website, then what you can do is you can just like put some other page, like the About Us page, the home page, or you can also put the FAQ page. Anything is good because the goal here is to make sure you actually use as much space as you can within the screen. Alright, so now that we have the campaign settings on point, let's talk about the ad group. So just as on Facebook, you have the campaign level, then you have the ad group level, which is where you're gonna define your target, your demographics, and those kind of things. And then you have the ad, which are within the ad group, okay? Which means that in a campaign, if you want to change, let's say you want to try different interests or different target audiences, you can just have multiple ad groups, okay? So you just have to duplicate the ad group and make a second one. Okay, and then you have to change the interest, and that's what we are about to do today. Okay, so let's go here back in the Google Ads Manager. So I'm going to create my first ad group, and this one will be interest based. So I just call it like interest stacked. Okay, and here you have to create your audience. So just click on create audience, and you have different targeting settings that I'm about to cover right now. So as you can see here, you have multiple audience settings, so you can create an audience based on custom segments. So this is pretty powerful, but this is something we're not going to use today because we don't have enough data yet. But you have to bear in mind that Google will actually record every single search query coming from any kind of user. So let's say you have your Gmail account installed on your Chrome session, and you search often for restaurants or fitness accessories. Google knows that you are a fitness lover or a restaurant lover, for instance, and then we can just type in some keywords here to actually include you in a segment that we will be able to target with our campaign. Okay, so you also have your data here, which is everything related to your website, your YouTube channel, or whatever. As you have the Google Tag campaign installed on your website, and as you have your YouTube channel linked, you can literally just retarget people who actually watch your video, your subscribers, or you can also retarget people visiting your website. And once you have enough data, you will also be able to create lookalikes, which are similar audiences, which means that Google will actually go out there and try to connect the data points between the people using your data, meaning your assets, your websites, or YouTube channel, and connect this with other people around the world to actually find largest and more accurate audience for you. Then here you also have the interest and detailed demographics, and this is the one we're gonna use. So you have different options here. You have the in-market audience, live events, detailed demographics, and affinity. So I'm going to give you a quick overview of this one. So in-market are basically people who are interested in different categories of things that are found in the market. So you can go like very specific about anything you want here. Okay, so I strongly recommend you to actually browse this, but people interested in, let's say, food, for instance, might be an interest that might suit your campaign, and you can just narrow it down and go deeper and deeper. Like you can literally go, like say, for people who actually enjoy fast food or grocery delivery or pizza or whatever. Okay, and this is based on how people are using Google. Okay, so another type of audience is live events. So as you know, again, based on the query people do, based on what people search on Google, all these things are recorded in here. You can just literally target people based on the search they are doing right now and the live events that are happening to them. So what's happening into the life. Okay, so let's say you have a product related to marriage. Let's say you have some rings or accessories. You can literally target people who are getting married soon, which is pretty powerful as well. Then you can also go under detailed demographic, and you can just target based on parental status. Let's say you have a store for babies. You can literally go here and target, let's say, parents for infants. Then you have the last section, which is affinity, and this is the one related to people who are actually interested in a topic, right? So you have different topics here. The main difference between in-market and affinity is that in-market are people actively researching for something, and affinity are people browsing these kind of things, kind of like, you know, a passion or casually browsing. So for this video, I'm going to stick to the in-market category because these are the interest with the most data, and as we don't have any data yet, we just want to make sure we can leverage as much data points as we can to make sure we optimize our campaigns in the long term. So here I'm advertising Christmas lights. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going under the gift and occasion section, and I will just select holiday items and decoration. You can stack different in-market interests if you want. However, don't mix different categories between them. So don't mix, let's say, in-market and live events, or don't mix in-market and detailed demographic. Otherwise, it might mess up the algorithm, and you don't want that. So as you can see here, my audience is pretty big, which is really good. And if you want to narrow it down, you can still narrow down the demographics. Here, I'm going to target people between 25 and, let's say, 54. Then you just have to save. Then don't forget to add your audience name. So I'm going to call this one interest holiday items and save. All right, so now it's time to create your ad. So here what you want to do is you just want to paste your YouTube video link. So if you haven't uploaded your video yet, do it now. You just have to go on your YouTube channel and upload your video, and you can actually just put it as unlisted. You don't have to display it and show it on your channel. You just have to get a link. And then here you want to insert your product link, and then on the display URL you can actually customize those paths. So here I actually strongly recommend you to put like some really good catching keywords to actually make sure people understand that this is an awesome offer and to get a better click-through rate. So here obviously you have to put the real link of your product where you want to send people, but here you can play around with things. So for instance here I will just put like exclusive offer, like free 3, right? Now the next thing you want to put is your call to action, and here you have 10 characters. So I always use buy now or get 50% off might work as well. So here you have to select your call to action, so you can actually play around with the call to action you want to put. The most common one is buy now or get it now, for instance. This works as well. So, and then you can actually put your headline. So I'm gonna put Xmas tree here. So this is how it looks like on smartphone, and if you click here you can just click on in-feed video, and as you can see here you have a long headline. Okay, so this is for the in-feed format. Remember, whenever someone search for a specific YouTube video or just do a YouTube search and you want your ad to be displayed at the top of the results, you can actually play around with longer headline and description to actually get someone to watch your video. So here I'm going to play around with longer headline, Here you go. So you want to make sure it's competing enough because you want to get a high click-through rate. And then in the description, you can actually just add some benefits or some features to make sure people trust your product more. So here, this is how it looks. So get your Xmas tree today at 50% off with free delivery in less than 72 hours. Order today, handmade in Sweden, 10 years warranty, free delivery worldwide. And then here, you just have to put an ad name. So here, as I'm going to try different call to actions, I would just call it Get It Now. And I will just hit on ad creation here. Now you can just click here under duplicate to get another variation. And here you can change the call to action if you want to split test the call to actions. And this one is going to be order now, for instance. Okay. So now I have two ads. The first one, which is with the call to action order now. The second one, which is with the call to action get it now. It's actually very useful to have at least two ads within your ad groups so that Google can actually do its best and leverage the algorithm at its highest level. Now that you're done, you just want to click on create campaign, and then you can just continue to campaign. All right, so now let me show you how you can optimize your campaign. Here, I'm going to show you one campaign I actually use with this structure. As you can see here, we invested almost $1,000 into this campaign, and we got almost 1,141 conversions for a total conversion value of 110,000 euro out, which is almost a 10x return on investment. So let's go within the campaign settings. So as you can see here, I had two ad groups and I only kept one because one of them was actually performing and the other one was not. And as you can see here under campaigns, ad groups and ads, I had multiple ads, but some of them had a very high cost per conversion. As you can see here, some of them were costing me 83 euro for every single purchase, the other one 33. And as my product value here is only 35, I need to make sure I stay within my cost per conversion, right? So the way you can optimize is basically just by pausing the ads who are not performing. This is the very first thing you can do. So the budget will be used more wisely, and you want to try to find a sweet spot between the cost per conversion and the volume you're getting, right? So one quick way to analyze this is actually to sort out by the total number of conversion you had. And as you can see here, I had one ad with actually 231 conversions, and every conversion was costing me €4.91, which is pretty good. So basically you just want to scroll and optimize like this, and you just want to pause and remove the ads which are not working. And then you can also do the same thing with your audience as well. So one quick way to optimize, let's say, the demographics is actually by taking a look at this chart. You can actually just have a look here at the conversion and the cost per conversion. And you can also match this with the conversion value. So here, what I'm looking at is basically what kind of age range are buying the most on my website, and also which age range is costing me the lowest to actually get a sale on my website. And here I can clearly understand that the sweet spot might be this one. So the age range between 35 to 44 is actually costing me €2.58 for every single conversion, but also the conversion value is pretty high, right? However, here it's not that bad. For the age range between 25 to 34, it's only costing me $3.29 per conversion, and the conversion value is also insane, 129,000 euro as well. Another thing you can do to optimize your campaign is also optimize the keywords. So if you are using a campaign with some keywords here, you can just literally have a look at the cost per conversion for every single keyword, and you want to make sure that you actually exclude the keywords with the highest cost per conversion and keep the one with the lowest cost per conversion. So keyword is a bit tricky because even though if you see a keyword here, you want to make sure that you understand what kind of keywords people are exactly searching for. So you need to select the keyword here and go under the search terms to actually narrow down the keyword itself and exclude or include any kind of search term your audience is using to drive your conversions. Another thing you can do is you can also optimize by locations. So you can actually do the same exercise for every single country you're targeting. And as you can see here, you can sort by cost per conversion, and then you can actually exclude the countries that are costing you way too much and then keep the countries that has a good cost per conversion. And finally, last but not least, you can also do the same thing with devices. So you can optimize the bidding for, let's say, mobile phones or tablets or whatever it is, depending on the cost per conversion. All those devices are driving you. So here the way to optimize at the device level will be to actually select the device itself and just change the bid adjustment. So let's say that the mobile phones are driving me way more conversions at the lowest cost than desktops. What I want to do here is I want to maximize my bid, which means that I will allow Google to actually increase my budget, increase my bid to win the impression against another ad on this specific device. So now remember, a couple of minutes ago, we talked about the bidding strategy we wanted to use, and we had TCPA and maximize conversions. Let's say that after 2 weeks, you have enough data. Now Google knows how much it's costing you for every single conversion. So what you can do is you can just come back to your campaign settings here under the setting tabs, and you can actually optimize and change your bidding strategy from maximize conversion to target cost per action. And here you can actually put your target desired cost per action. However, if you bid too low, your ads are not going to get any impression, which means that no one's going to see your ad. So what I would recommend is actually just double your usual cost per action here. Let's say you have 25 as a cost per action, just put 50 and then just lower it as much as you can, like every 2 hours until you stop getting any impressions. So you really have to find a sweet spot to actually make sure you're getting some impressions and some conversions at the same time. So guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you on the next one. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Hey guys, welcome to this new section, Pinterest ad. My name is Vedant Mohan and today I'm about to teach you how you can set up, test and optimize Pinterest ads. So let's get started. So here's what you're going to cover. First thing first, how you can set up your Pinterest ad account, how you can set up your pixel. I'm going to teach you the exact strategy that you can copy and paste to test your product. Also, I'm going to teach you how you can scale your campaigns, how to use lookalike and retargeting, and also I'll teach you the best performing creative and how you can actually get some inspiration for your ad copy. So let's get started. The first thing you want to do is you want to create your Pinterest ad account. So it's a pretty straightforward process. You just need to create your account. I'm about to do it here. Here you go. So it's a pretty straightforward process. You just need to put some details about your account and yourself. So pretty easy. So once your account is created, the first thing you want to do is you want to click here on the top right corner and you want to convert your personal account into a business account. Here you go. As you can see, if you convert it to a business account, you will get access to the ads manager. And this is exactly what we need to actually set up our ads. So let's go. And the first thing you need to do is you need to switch your profile and put your details. So profile name, website, the country and the language as well. Next thing you want to do, and this is quite important, you want to make sure that you select the right category for your brand and select your goals. Actually here, as we are an e-com store, we just want to sell more product, drive traffic to the website, and we also want to create content on Pinterest to grow an audience, right? Here you can select that you're an online retail or marketplace and you want to integrate your Pinterest account with your Shopify account. So you can click here, click on next, and yes, I'm interested in advertising. Here you quickly have to put your contact details and phone number, of course. And here you go. Now you want to integrate your Pinterest ad account with Shopify, so you can actually select this option, import your product from Shopify, and then you just want to click on add the application. Then here you go. You just want to connect your Pinterest account to set up the integration and you want to give access. And then once you're done, you just have to click on continue and on next until you reach a screen asking you to integrate the Pinterest pixel, and then you'll be done. Now I'm about to show you how you can also integrate the Pinterest pixel in a manual way, just in case the normal native integration doesn't work out. So if you want to install your pixel manually, you first have to create one. So you just go back into Pinterest ads, you click here on ads, go under the conversion tab, and here you'd have the tag manager. You just have to click on get started. Now you just have to actually insert your website link, click on check, then you have to click on manual setup, and here you go, you have the tag that you actually need to copy from here. Then on the third step, you can just leave this automatic enhance matched enabled and you can click on continue. And now you just have to follow these steps. So now let's go under the Shopify admin and let's click on online store themes. And now we have to click here on action, edit code. Let's go in the file called theme.liquid. Here you go. And as you can see here, just after the head section, we'll have to paste this code. So let's go for it. I'll actually do Control F to search for it. Here you go. So as you can see, you have the first head here, and if you scroll down until the end, you will see the second head section, which is just here, right? And now you can just hit enter to go to the next line, and then basically you just hit enter once again, you paste your code, and you're done. Okay, so now the tag is installed on the main theme. Let's save it. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to actually add the add to cart event, which means that whenever someone will add a product to the cart, the Pinterest pixel will be able to just collect the data. So this is quite important as well. Let's go this time in the product.liquid file, and we just have to copy this piece of code here, and put it within the ending caret of the button or input element. So as you can see here, my button code is starting just right here, and if I just scroll to the right, I will actually go for the ending bracket. I'm looking for the ending bracket here, and here you go. You can of course use the search functionality here. You see it's just right here. I can see that it's ending because the bracket is opening. We have a slash closing the code. So I'll just hit space and paste my piece of code that I needed to add here, and we are done. Okay, so now my add to cart event is manually installed as well. And the next thing we want to do is we just want to add the checkout event, which is way easier. So to add the checkout event manually, you just have to go under settings and then go under checkout. So let's do it together. So let's go under settings here. Let's go under checkout, just right here. And here you go. You just have to copy this thing here, this small portion of code. Just want to go under your checkout settings. You want to scroll down until you have the additional scripts here. So what you need to do is you just need to paste it under your script if you have one. If you don't have any of these, you can just actually copy and paste the whole code here, and that's it. So just to check if everything is smoothly installed, I recommend you to add the Pinterest tag helper as a Chrome extension, so you can actually go to your store. It's actually the same thing as the Facebook pixel helper, and it will allow you to actually make sure the pixel is installed in the right way. So just for the sake of the exercise, I actually installed this to one of my other store, and as you can see here, Pinterest tag helper is quite happy. As you can see, there is no issue or warning found, which is quite good, which means that it's working perfectly fine. Now let's go to the next step. So before setting up the campaigns, the first thing we want to do is we want to make sure that our billing details are properly integrated as well. So you just go here under billing, and you will have to add all your business details, your VAT information if you are actually registered with the VAT. And you also want to, of course, insert all the payment settings here. So you just set up your billing details right here. And then you also want to create some audiences, because it's quite important. So, as you are getting some traffic, it will kind of like populate your audience straight away, even if you're not running ads yet. So let's assume you're getting some traffic coming from Google ads, Facebook ads, or TikTok ads or whatever. As you have the pixel installed now, you can start collecting data, which should be quite useful to create some lookalikes. So let's go here and click on create audience. And as you can see, you can actually create some audience based on the website visitors. It will take up to 24 hours to actually populate. So it's quite important to do it straight away. So let's do it. Let's create an audience called website visitors. Okay, and then we just want to add some filters. So we'll say let's say 30 days. So I'll call my audience website visitors 30 days, which means that everyone visiting my website during the time frame of 30 days will actually be integrated to this audience. Okay, so now you can just select your tag here, so your pixel basically, and here you go, boom, create your audience. Okay, you can also create some other audience like engagement audience, which are quite powerful for retargeting. So let's say anyone who actually engage with your profile might enter this audience. Okay, so for instance, let's say anyone who actually engage with any of your pin or your profile or whatever, you actually want to put those people in a specific category, you can do it here. So let's call this audience any engagement action 30 days. Okay, and just for a reminder here, I'll describe my audience: anyone who have been engaged with any of my Pinterest content. Right now, you just have to basically you can just select a filter here if you want to. I don't do it, so I basically just create my audience, and here you go. As you can see, it's initializing here. One last thing we can do is, if you already have like a customer list coming from your store, let's say you already have some orders, okay, what you can do is you can actually go under the customer tab here. You can export a CSV with all your orders, okay, so you can export it and import it back here, and then you can basically just retarget those people. So let's assume you have like a multi-product store, like in this case we have multiple t-shirts on our store. If I just want to display some other product to my customers, I can do it here. I just have to upload the file here and I'll be able to target them, right? So just to let you know, as we are in the audience setting, if you want to create some lookalike audience, it's also here that you'll be able to do it. I don't recommend doing some lookalikes unless you already have like 1,000 plus people in your audience, otherwise your data will not be accurate enough. Okay, so we'll go back to lookalikes after, but just so you know, it's actually just right here. Okay, now next step, let's go to the column settings. So to actually set up your column view and your performance stats, you just have to click here, and as you can see, you can tick up to 5 performance stats you want to follow in your campaigns. As we're doing paid ad and as we're actually running ads for an e-com store, I strongly recommend you to actually tick the ROAS, the paid CTR. So you will have to untick few things here because you can only pick up to 5 options. So I will go with spend, I will go with order value, checkout, ROAS, paid CTR, right? So those are the 5 ones I recommend using. So spend, order value, checkout, ROAS, paid CTR. Okay, so now let's create our campaigns. So you just have to go here under create and create ad. And as you can see, it's very similar to Facebook ads. So as in Facebook, you have 3 levels when you set up a campaign. You have the campaign level, the ad group level, which is obviously the ad set level, and then you have the ad level. And as you can see here, you can also choose between different objectives. So awareness, consideration, and conversion. Of course, here we want to optimize for conversion. Here you go. So when you click on conversion, it might ask you that you actually need to set up conversion data. If so, you just have to click here. So the main thing you want to do is you just want to actually go to your store and fire all the events so you can actually access to the conversion events in the ads manager. So now let's go back to the campaign creation. The first thing I want to do here is I want to go for a conversion campaign, and this one will be a testing campaign. So you just need to copy and paste my structure as we tested this on multiple stores and it has been working all the time. So the naming convention is also very important to stay organized. So I recommend you to actually insert your product name here. So product name, testing campaign number 1. Okay. And as you can see here, you can actually set up your budget. So I recommend you to use a daily budget. We need at least 50 per day to actually make sure that the campaign will perform. So $50 or USD or GBP is fine. Now, as with Facebook, you don't want to run your campaign straight away, otherwise it might rush the budget. That's why you always want to start your campaign on the next day at midnight based on your ad account time zone. Okay, so here we go. Now we can hit on continue. So these were the campaign settings. Now we are about to go under the ad group, meaning the ad set settings. Okay, so as you can see here, we will leave it blank for now. We'll leave the ad group name blank for now because we will actually change the name according to our targeting settings. Okay, and as you can see here, you can actually use retargeting audiences, or you can find new customers, or you can also select your own you can actually make your own targeting selection for this ad group. Okay, so we will actually go here with choose yours, which is the third option, and we'll start with interest and keywords, especially with interest. Okay, so as you can see, you have some interest here. It's very similar to what you can find in TikTok ads or Facebook ads as well. And here you have 3 levels of interest. So you have the main category. Let's say we open beauty. You have the second level, which is the subcategory. And then if you want to be very, very specific, you have the third option. And sometimes you also have the fourth one. But most of the time you have like 4 levels. So level 1, which is the main category, okay, of interest. Then you have the subcategory, level 2, and then the third one. And as we don't have that much data right now, we need to actually consolidate our data and get some data on our tag and pixel. We will actually work with the main categories for now. Okay, so the first ad group will actually be an ad group where we will target the main categories related to our product. So let's say here I'm actually promoting a fitness t-shirt. I would go for any kind of clothing, apparel, and fitness related interest. So I will actually go under health here, and I will just select the whole health category. Then I will also go in main fashion. Boom, I will consolidate, and I will actually pick a third interest which will be related to my product, and I will actually go with sport here. Okay, so here we go. We have our three interests, and here I will just go back to the ad group name and call it stacked interest 1. So this is my first ad set. Okay, my first ad group. Now what you can do is you can actually narrow down the demographic, which is quite important. So if you have like a specific product that will match, let's say, women or men only, you can actually untick the one that you are not willing to target. Here in this situation, I'm about to target both of them, and you can also select the age range here. Here I will leave it blank as my product is kind of like mainstream. Now let's talk about the location. The best performing countries will really depend on your product, but if you want to actually get some data really fast, I would recommend you to actually go for the US, the Canada, and the Australia first. So let's go. Let me select US, UK, and Canada. Here we go. So we have our top 3 countries, and as you can see here, the audience is wide. So it's really recommended to actually make sure we stay in the middle range when we create an audience. Otherwise, the data might be kind of like all over the place. So here, just to narrow it down, what I will do is I will just select the English language. Obviously, those countries are English-speaking countries, but we can still actually exclude the French-speaking people from Canada. And then you can choose any specific age range. And here, what I will do is I will actually remove everyone that is above 55. And you just want to make sure that the expanded targeting option is unticked. So you just want to unselect this to make sure that your targeting stays accurate. So now, as you can see, it's way better, and we can actually just scroll down until we found the conversion event. So for the conversion event, you always want to go for what we call final payment, or depending on your ad account, it might also say checkout. So checkout is actually the same thing as purchase. So you don't want to optimize for add to cart or for leads or website clicks or whatever. You really want to go with checkout or final payment, okay, depending on your ad account. Okay, now the bidding strategy will stay automated, so this is pretty straightforward. And now it's time to create the ad. So what we'll do here is we'll actually create a fresh new pin. So just click on create a new pin. So if you want to get some inspiration about some ads, what you can do is you can actually just go on Pinterest and search for ad examples, or I will actually post a Pinterest dashboard in the cheat sheet so you can actually get a lot of inspiration here. And as you can see, there is multiple things, but most of the time static image works pretty well. So this is really what I recommend. And as you can see, the text zone is like very, very light, or when they are actually using text, they just make sure that the text really stands out, right? So let's go and let's create our ad. So I will actually just go on Canva to create my image here. So you already have the Pinterest ad format, which is pre-made, pre-built here. So here I'm using a template, just drag and drop everything, make sure it looks good, and the text is actually taking some space. And here we go with my creative. I'm going to download it on my computer, and here you go. Let's create it so it looks good. So you can always edit the pin here if you need to. I don't recommend editing here because the functionalities are quite limited, so it's better to edit it in Canva. Let's call it ad 1 because this is the first variation, and now we actually need to create the ad copy. So for the ad copy inspiration, I always take a look at my best performing Facebook ads, or you can also use a website called copy.ai to get some inspiration if you want to. Here I have my ad copy prepared. So it's quite important to actually make it look kind of like organic. So try to avoid emojis, try to avoid a lot of promotion. And the thing is, you really want to make sure that the first 2 lines of your ad copy, of your description here, are really attracting people, because obviously this is what will be displayed. So on Pinterest ad, the number of characters that are displayed with your ad are quite limited. So it's very important to split test those, because you will see a huge difference. Okay, so for now, let's keep it as it is. So treat your couple with the best gift ever. Meet our duo t-shirt bundle. You can take shortcut to fitness, but you can make it easier. Get yours today at a discounted price. That's it. Okay, so that's my first pin here. I'm going to publish it. And now that you're done with your first ad set, you can duplicate your ad set and go to the second one. So you can duplicate it a second time. And here we are going to create a second ad set called stacked interest number 2. Okay, so here you're about to leave everything the same. The only thing you want to target is basically the interest you selected. So you want to go for some other interest. Okay, so let's find some other interest. In here, I will actually go for motivation, which is my keyword, because I want to find people that need some motivation and are getting inspired by quotes. And I will just go for quotes here, for instance. So this will be my first one. Okay. And now let's select some other one, which will be related to our product. So this time I'll go for women fashion. And the third one here will be travel. So it's not related to the product, but travel matches lifestyle. So this one can work as well. Remember, the main point here is actually to collect some data. So it's very important to be broad enough so you can actually start getting some data in your audiences and your pixel as well to start leveraging lookalikes. And now let's go for the third one. So the third one is quite different because now this time we don't want to work with interest. We really want to work with keywords. Okay, so let's call it keywords. Okay, so 10 keywords actually. So now what we are going to do is we're going to remove all the interest we targeted previously. So let's go back here and let's unselect every single interest here. And let's go for keywords. So you are going to go here in keywords and you need to find some keywords. So you might ask, how can I find some keywords? Really easy. You just have to go back to the main homepage of Pinterest and you just want to go here. You want to go under your profile, you have the search tab here, you want to select all pins and you want to type some main keywords related to your niche or your product. So now here, for instance, I will type fitness, and as you can see, fitness aesthetic is the first suggestion. So I will actually take this one, okay? And fitness code is the second one. Then we have fitness and exercise. So let's start with this one, okay? So let's go back here, fitness, aesthetics, and then the third one was fitness, and let's say fitness training here. Okay, I also want to go for couple because here this is my angle. Okay, so couple goals and things like that. So let's go for couple goals, for instance, couple goals captions. So those are the two I can actually use. So couple goals captions, and you want to go, you actually want to add up to 10 keywords. Okay, you want to make sure that you are either in the mid-range or you can go a bit wider for the first one. Okay, and now let's go for fitness fashion, for instance. Okay, fitness fashion outfits. Okay, fitness fashion outfits. So fitness, and then you can also actually go for active wear, which is a strong one. Active wear outfits, active wear outfits. You can also go for gym as it's related to fitness here. So gym outfit and gym aesthetics. So gym outfit, gym aesthetics. And then let's go back to motivation, like couple motivation might be a good one. Couple motivation quotes. Okay, so here we go, couple motivation quotes. And now let's get rid of one because I have 11 of them, and I will actually remove, as it's quite the same, I will actually go for active wear. Okay, so as you can see, you have different format for your keywords. So you have what we call the broad match, the exact match, and you can also exclude some exact match, for instance. Okay, so this is quite similar to Google Ads. So my colleague George will certainly cover this, but just to let you know, for now we just want to go as broad as we can. Okay, as you can see here, I'm a bit too narrowed. So what I will do is I will just enlarge some targeting options here to make sure that I have enough people in my audience. Okay, so here you go, all ages, for instance, which will make it bigger. And then for the countries here, I want to add some more countries. Okay, so I can add Canada, for instance. Here you go. So now let's go back here. As you can see, everything is the same. So perfect. And very important thing I forget to mention is basically for your first campaign, you really want to go ahead with the automatic bidding strategy. Okay, you don't want to go for custom. This is something we'll cover in the scaling phase. Okay, so basically, as you can see here, we have 3 ad sets. Okay, So the first one is stacked interest number 1, the second one is stacked interest number 2, and the third one is 10 keywords. And now you can publish your campaign. Okay, so now let's go back to the ads manager. Now that you have published your first campaign, as you can see, you have access to the full dashboard here. So you have the campaign tab, ad group, ads, and keywords. So it's very similar to Facebook ads. And the good thing is now you can actually just change your current settings. So you just have to click here, okay, and you just want to actually make sure that you actually display your add to cart here. So you can select add to cart here, everything related to add to cart, so it will consolidate. So you want to make sure that you display your expenses, your CPC, your CTR, your CPM, your total CPA, and the number of prints, which means the number of impressions, and also the results. Okay, so here you go, you can actually select those and you can save your current settings. Now let's see how we can actually analyze a campaign. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that within your campaign, you always select your campaign and you just want to go for you want to go take a look at the ad group level. Okay, so here you go, you just select your campaign. So as you can see here, I have different ad sets, okay, and here now the goal would be to actually understand which one of those is bringing me the best results. And as you can see here, you always have to make a choice between the volume you had, but also between the CPA you have. So for instance, let's say here I have a CPA of 147, which means that it's costing me only 1.47 to get one conversion. But as you can see, as the audience size is quite limited here, I'm only getting 36 purchase, so it might not be the best choice. However, here, as you can see, I'm paying $6.49 per purchase. Okay, so let's assume this is my stacked interest number 1. It's costing me $6.49 per purchase, and I'm getting 154 purchase, which means that it's quite good and I can scale it like really, really hard. Okay, so now what I will do is I will basically turn everything off and keep the one that's winning on in my main campaign. And now I'll teach you how you can actually create a scaling campaign. Okay, so before we actually go under the ads manager, let me explain you how we're going to scale our campaign. So it's pretty simple. What you want to do is you just want to actually select your best ad group, and instead of using the automated bidding strategies, you want to go for what we call TCPA, so target cost per action. So it's pretty simple. As we know what our cost per action is, okay, so we know it's roughly €8, okay. We just want to tell to Pinterest that we can afford €8 as a minimum to get one conversion, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate our best performing ad set and change the target cost per action in each one of the ad sets. So basically the structure is 5 ad sets. So everything is the same. We only change the cost per action. On the first one, it will be 8. So my main value. And then on each other ad set, on every other ad set, I will just increase the value by 1. So it will be 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so let's do it together. So just as a reminder, my best performing ad set is this one, as you can see. So roughly $6.49 per purchase, but still, as we have an average of $7.35, my main value would be 8. Okay, and we have a decent amount of orders. So I'm about to duplicate this one. So you just have to select it here. You click on duplicate, and here you go. You just want to create a new campaign. You will just create one copy for now. You duplicate it, and let's rename the campaign. We're going to call it CBO Scaling 5x TCPA. Okay, so let's go here, and the budget will actually be, you can put whatever you want, but I recommend 50 as a minimum, and you just want to start running it from the next day midnight. So always select the next day at midnight. Okay, here you go. Now let's click on continue. Now it's pretty easy because the only thing that you're going to change, you want to keep everything the same. The only thing you want to change is you want to go to scroll down until you find the bidding strategy, and you want to change it from automatic to custom. And here's where you want to put your target cost per action. So my first target cost per action will be 8. So just insert a number here, and now you scroll to the top and you just change your ad group name, and I will call it TCPA 8, right? And scaling best interest. Okay, here you go. Now I'm about to duplicate this ad group, right? And here you go, duplicate it once, and now I'm about to call it TCPA 9, right? And you scroll down, change the TCPA value to 9. Once again, you duplicate it, boom, now it will be TCPA 10, right? So it's pretty simple. TCPA 10, boom. And then once again, TCPA 11. So remember, you need 5 of those, okay? Quite important. And you will see that basically some of them will not spend at all, right? Because the TCPA will be too low. So Pinterest will not be able to find an audience which will give you some conversion for this amount, right? Okay, so we can actually guess that, 8 might not spend, but 9 might spend, right? It doesn't mean that you're going to pay 9, for instance, for every single conversion you will get, but it's just that as you can afford to take more risk, it will spend more on these ad sets, if that makes sense. And here you go. Then you can actually examine everything and publish. And now you might ask, well, how to scale it? So it's pretty simple, because Pinterest ad, if you want to scale your campaigns, it's quite easy because you only have to raise the budget. That's it. It's very consistent. It's not as Facebook ads, while you will have to do like multiple change. It's pretty easy. So basically what you want to do is you just want to duplicate your best performing TCPA ad set. Let's say it's this one. You want to duplicate it in a new campaign, okay? And you want to put a higher budget. Let's say, for instance, 250 euro per day. And then you want to increase the budget by 20% every day. Now, again, as with every platform, it might dry out at some point. That's why you should always invest 20% of your budget in testing. So 10% in testing creative and 10% in testing interest. So now, how do you test creative? The structure to test creative is pretty simple. You just want to create a campaign, as we did, with your best performing interest, okay? And you want to duplicate the ad set 3 times. And you just want to have like 1 creative per ad set. So basically, it will look like this. Let me show you. So you will have your campaign, so testing creatives, right? And here you go, you select the same settings. So always the next day, midnight, right? Here you go. And you will have the first ad group, okay, which would be tagged interest 1, right? And you will have your ad number 1 here. Okay, so ad number 1, boom, duplicate, right? Stacked interest 2. So stacked interest 1, sorry, ad 2. Okay, so you just have to change the ad. Everything stays the same. You just have to change the ad. That's it. And then ad number 3, if that makes sense. Okay. So pretty simple. And then based on the best performing interest and actually the best performing creative. Okay. So the creative with the highest CTR, you want to make some decisions. And then you just rinse and repeat. So now let's say I found my best performing creative. You have it. Boom. You can just actually take it and expose it to the same audience you used to leverage for your first scaling campaign. Now, 10% should also go in testing more interest. So how do you test interest? It's actually the same thing. This time, you just want to revert things. So you want to create a campaign with your best performing creatives, right? So now, not your best performing interest, your best performing creative. So the one with the highest CTR. And you want to create 3 ad sets, okay? You will keep the same creative across every single ad set, and you just want to change the interest, if that makes sense. Okay, so that's it. And once you have the best performing interest, you can actually combine this with your best performing creative and go back to the step number 1 and scale it. So it's pretty straightforward with Pinterest ad, and that's how we are actually able to achieve some really good results with this strategy. So now I'm about to show you how you can actually set up some retargeting campaigns as well. So you just want to go here under ads, create an ad, and here you just want to create a conversion campaign. You want to call it CBO retargeting, okay? And as always, you want to make sure that you start your campaign on the next day at midnight. Regarding the budget here, the good thing is that you don't need a lot of budget for retargeting campaigns. You can start with anything between 10 to 15 per day, because your audience size will be quite limited at the beginning, and then you can actually scale it. So instead of actually picking reconnect with your audience here, I recommend you to click here on choose your targeting, and you can actually use some existing lists here. For instance, you can use any kind of act-alike list here. Okay, so those are lookalikes, and I can actually select them here. So as you can see, all the lookalikes here, boom, I can select them, right, and include them in my targeting, and I can combine this with my client list, and also I can combine this with people who have been engaged with my pins, which is quite powerful, and also with my website visitors, which is also very powerful. So I recommend you to stack everything here to make sure that your audience size is big enough. And then what you want to do is you just want to make sure that under the demographic tab, you actually select the countries that are quite important for you. So here you just want to make sure that you select the countries that are quite relevant to you, because sometimes you can get a lot of traffic bot coming from Pinterest and you want to avoid this. Okay, and then basically here, as you already have some data, you can go ahead with TCPA once again. So you can just set up like a high TCPA, the highest value. However, if you don't have at least 50 purchases coming from Pinterest, you can just stay in automatic bidding for now. Okay, and then that's it. You just want to publish your campaign and you're done. So this was the Pinterest strategy that we use to leverage some good results for our e-com stores and print-on-demand stores. So if you have any question, just let us know in comment. I hope that you enjoyed this section, and I hope to see you soon.
Hey guys, this is Sayan Oscar, and in this section, we're pretty much going to cover what TikTok Organic is, why you guys should do it, and how to do it.
Alright, so to explain a little bit further what TikTok Organic is, for you guys that don't really know what it is or have heard little about it, pretty much what it is you're drop shipping but without spending any money on ads. You're just creating content or organic content on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube Shorts, and you can make tons of money without spending any money on ads. It's literally the best way to start, and it's the lowest barrier to entry because all you're really spending money on is the initial product, and you can even return it to Amazon. So you can literally do this with zero money. You don't gotta spend any money on ads. You don't gotta have like headaches, like your ads not spending or not performing properly.
And guys, to put it into simple terms, all you have to do is literally post content on TikTok and Instagram. You post content for free, essentially upload 3 times a day until one of them goes viral. Alright, so now another major reason why you guys should all be doing TikTok Organic is because of the free massive exposure that comes with it. Now, if you guys decide to dropship with this method, you will be able to drive traffic to your website and business through TikTok's insane organic reach. Now, I don't think you guys understand just how powerful TikTok's algorithm is.
To give you an example of like how much money you can save, to get 1 million views through ads, if your video is good, you can still expect to pay around $2,000 per million views through TikTok ads, but you can literally do this all for free. The thing about TikTok is you're building brand recognition. We've literally built brands through TikTok that millions of people have seen in our area as well. If you mention some of our brands to people we see in public, they know what it is. The insane organic reach TikTok has it's literally insane, and this isn't going to be here forever, so you want to make sure you're able to take advantage of this while it's here.
Now guys, most big brands spend hundreds of millions of dollars on advertising every single year. Now the crazy thing is you guys can literally master it for free. We have gotten so much more views than even big brands on TikTok, brands that you guys have heard of, such as Coca-Cola, such as Scrub Daddy, these other companies. We've gotten more views than them. We've gotten more exposure than them. There's people out there on TikTok that know of our brand more than these other big brands.
Keep in mind, guys, these companies spend like literally millions of dollars. They spend tons of money on influencers, and you can literally do this all by yourself. You don't even got to show your face in these videos. We prefer never to show our faces. We do in some.
And I'm glad Oscar mentioned that you guys have to show your faces, because I know a lot of you guys are worried about showing your faces. But nope, you don't gotta show your faces. We hardly ever show our faces.
I never used to post anything on social media. I never used social media before this. TikTok was literally the first content I ever put out. All right, so the first thing we're gonna cover are the mistakes to avoid, guys. These are very crucial. You gotta make sure you avoid these at all costs. If someone were to tell me and say the mistakes that we're about to tell you, it would have made us so much more money a lot sooner. It would have saved us a whole bunch of headaches. Like, I can't stress this enough. I want you guys to take notes on this. They're very important.
So the very first mistake that me and Oscar see everyone make, and a mistake that we've made too, is not posting consistently. It is very important for you guys to post 3 times a day, every single day for the next 2 weeks, minimum 3 times a day, guys. Super important. You need to maximize your uploads, because this definitely will increase the chances of you going viral.
And this doesn't stop at just 3 times a day. You can take this to 5 if you want to increase your odds. And you got to remember, the whole thing about TikTok Organic is you want to increase your odds of going viral. So if you give TikTok more videos, it has more selection, and the TikTok algorithm is very good. As soon as one video picks up, your other videos have a higher chance of picking up as well. So the more content you have out by the time you go viral, it makes everything a lot more better. It creates a snowball effect. Not creating a content calendar is a mistake as well. It helps. You want to plan out your videos, and also reusing the same clips multiple times. It's not a good idea. TikTok is getting way better at recognizing videos. The algorithm is absolutely insane.
Now, we understand how difficult it is uploading 3 times a day. It really is. We struggle with that, and that is why we created a content calendar. We usually do that. We also set reminders on our phone. So if we have a day that we know we gotta upload 3 times a day, I'm gonna set a reminder on my phone that's going to automatically go off at a certain time that I wanna upload. So I want you guys to do that. I encourage you guys to do that. And it does help out if you guys have somebody else, like maybe a friend. You and your friend can keep each other accountable so that you guys can upload 3 times a day. If you guys can just push through it for the first 2 weeks, guys, I promise That's all it takes is 1 to 2 weeks, one video to really go viral, and you're not going to get that one video if you're only uploading once.
Like I said before, guys, the trade-off with TikTok Organic is you do got to put in more time, so you can't be lazy.
So another big mistake that a lot of people make is bad video quality and terrible audio. You guys cannot expect to go viral off of videos that are just bad.
Yeah, you can't just upload anything and expect it to go viral. So I'm always on TikTok searching for new products, recent ones, and I've seen some terrible videos looking like they have Minecraft graphics. So like stuff like that ain't gonna cut it. People wonder sometimes why I'm not going viral. This is a big issue as well. Bad audio, bad video quality, and you also gotta match your sound.
Yeah, the sounds you use have to complement your video. You can't just use any random sound on a product that is completely irrelevant to what the sound is or the product. So when you're making videos, when you're uploading videos, try using sounds that do complement your videos. And also on the video itself, you have to build credibility. That's the whole purpose of it, right? It's not just about going viral. It's about creating videos that are high converting enough to convert after you've gone viral. That is why creating a video that's satisfying, that has good quality, good audio quality, it looks good, it's going to convert a lot better than a video that is not as good.
So a good little tip for you guys is that if you have a video that's a little bit faster paced, pick an audio that's a little bit faster paced as well. If you can match up your frames to the beats, that's a plus. ASMR is very good as well. If you can include those as well, it's a great thing. It's a big thing on TikTok actually. The hashtag is massive. You just want to make sure your video's quality is on point, your audio is on point. Little things like a tripod so it's not shaky comes a long way. Another huge mistake I see a lot of people make is to steal other people's videos. We're guilty of this ourselves when we first started, and we would get shadow banned. We wouldn't know why. But TikTok, like I mentioned before, they are getting better at recognizing videos. So they'll know when you steal something. They'll shadow ban you. They'll reduce your views. It's bad all overall. People recognize it as well. They'll tell you in the comments. Like we would get comments like that too when we did it, saying, oh, this is not your videos. You took them. So just don't do this. Don't be lazy and create your own content. You want to be authentic and original. TikTok, that's what they like. They want original content. They don't want anything that's like reposted. You can't get away with it for a short period of time. It's not something you want to create a bad habit of.
And to summarize, guys, create your videos from scratch every single time. Don't steal other people's videos. You're going to get shadow banned and you're going to be forced to create a new account. So remember, be authentic, be original.
The only way you're actually going to get good at this to make it long term is if you practice actually creating the videos. If you just steal other people's videos, you're not going to get better because you're not actually doing the editing.
Now, another big mistake that you guys want to avoid is engaging with yourself. You do not want to like your own stuff. You do not want to comment on your own videos. And essentially the most important thing you want to remember,
you gotta let TikTok's algorithm do its thing. We would have another account on the same phone. We'd go like spam, the share button, the copy link, like comment. TikTok knows what you're doing, guys. Like they have a very good system in place. All that's gonna do is shadow ban you. You just don't want to engage with yourself overall. Like even if it's someone else's phone in like, your same house under the same IP address, like they know what accounts are under your IP, how many different accounts you have on your phone. So you're not gonna get away with it. Anytime you may think you're gonna trick the system, I promise you, you're not. So don't even try it. Don't even do it.
You liking your own videos, you engaging with your own videos will not make you go viral. Alright, so I'm going to be covering how to find organic winning products and how to find products that aren't too saturated, products that can generate you money still, products that many people aren't doing already. Alright guys, so before you start looking for a winning product, you first gotta ask yourself, what makes a winning product? Now, a good product that has all viral elements is very important for organic traffic. Not any products can go viral, and we're going to be teaching you guys exactly how to find products that can go viral with organic traffic. Now, I also want to mention some products that do good for organic don't mean they'll do good for ads, vice versa. Some products that do good for ads maybe might not do good for organic. Some of the criteria of finding a winning product include the product has to solve an issue. So from my experience, products that solve an issue have always converted a lot higher than products that do not solve an issue. Let's say you are selling a product that solves an issue in comparison to someone else selling a product that is just for fun. The product that solves an issue will convert a lot better and a lot higher than a product that is just for fun, or in other words, a product that is just a quick money grab. Now, besides your product solving an issue, it is very important that your product cannot be found just anywhere. If people are able to go to Walmart or their local convenience store and find the product that you're promoting or the product that you're selling on TikTok, it may not convert as well, because why would they purchase off of you if they can just simply walk up to the nearest location and purchase it off of them? Now, that doesn't mean you should be worried about Amazon, because most of the time, people that see your product or see your video on TikTok, they're going to purchase off of impulse. So Amazon is never in their mind, and that is not even a top competitor for you. Now, the product that you're selling also has to have a unique wow factor. The reason why it's important for it to have a unique wow factor is because a wow factor makes it a lot easier for you to grab their attention and for you to go viral. If somebody sees a product that is unique that they have not seen yet, odds are they're going to stick around and want to watch the entire video. Now the whole premises of going viral is how long you can keep somebody entertained, or how long you can keep somebody watching your entire video. So if you have a higher watch time, odds are you're going to go more viral than someone with a less of a watch time. That is why having a unique wow factor is very important. And the product that you're also searching for, you want to make sure it does not have too much views, or there are not too many big accounts on TikTok already selling their product. Now, sometimes you can get away with it, even if there are a bunch of people selling the same product, because TikTok is massive. There are over 1 billion active users on TikTok. So don't let this one get to your head. It's just there for you to take consideration. All right, so now some of the best tools that we like to use to find winning products include simply searching up TikTok Made Me Buy It. I've mentioned this a few times, but I promise you guys, if you guys stick around on TikTok Made Me Buy It, spend a few hours on TikTok Made Me Buy It, you will find a product that is suitable. You will find a product that meets all the criteria that I just mentioned. So it's very important. Whenever you're searching for products, you're just going to have to spend a few hours on TikTok. You have to. There's no other way around it. Now, another search tool besides TikTok Made Me Buy It is the hashtag Amazon Finds. Amazon Finds is a great way to find other products that are trending. Now, another great method to finding winning products is by simply bringing old winning products that did very good on Facebook and bring them onto TikTok. As a matter of fact, guys, one of our most profitable products that we've ever tested was a product that was successful on Facebook a few years back. All we did was simply bring it back to TikTok, and it did amazing. It crushed on TikTok. So if you can find a product, or if you know a few products that did very good on Facebook a few years back, why not try bringing them onto TikTok? I promise you guys, if you can find good products on Facebook, and if they converted on Facebook, odds are they're going to convert on TikTok. Now, the other method that a lot of people don't do as much is cold searching. What I mean by cold searching, guys, is I want you guys to spend a few hours on AliExpress. You'll be surprised of how many products are still on tap. Now, if you guys are struggling finding products from TikTok Made Me Buy It or Amazon Finds, or you simply cannot find an old winning product from Facebook, this is your best bet. Cold searching is your best bet. I have brought many products from AliExpress onto TikTok, and I was the first one. And sometimes being the first one to go viral off of a product, or being the first one to bring a product over, that will reward you in so many ways. Your conversion is going to be a lot higher, your credibility is going to be a lot higher, and there's no competition. That is why I really recommend you guys to always cold search. This should always be top priority after TikTok Made Me Buy It. Now, this is what I mean. I'm gonna show you guys a little example of me cold searching. All right, so once you're on AliExpress, all you guys have to really is just scroll around. Now, search for products that fit the criteria that I just mentioned. Does it have a wow factor, and does it solve an issue? Those two are the biggest ones you guys always want to take for consideration. Now, if you guys pay attention to some of these products, I promise you guys have already seen them on TikTok. I've seen this one, and I've seen the door handle, and I've also seen the no glass. This product over here went viral a few months back. What does this product really have to offer? So it doesn't solve much of an issue, but I can see why people like it. It does have some type of wow factor, and the videos that they were making based off of this product was insanely satisfying. That is why this product did very good. Now, what I'd be doing is I would then take this product and I would make an account on TikTok and I would begin promoting it. Let's say if nobody had done it before, I would begin promoting this product and I would bring it onto TikTok. Now that you guys know the different tools and methods that we use to find winning products, I want to go over some analytics and metrics that you guys always want to look out for when searching for products on TikTok. So you want to look for the date that they uploaded their last video. For example, when was their last upload? For example, when was their most recent upload? Was it uploaded in under a week? Was it uploaded a day ago, 2 days ago? If you can find any video that's uploaded under a week, you're golden. Preferably within 48 hours. If you can find a product or an account on TikTok that's promoting a product and that they uploaded a few hours ago or 24 hours, that is a very good sign that the product is still generating sales. Now, you also want to look at their viewers. How many views are they currently getting? Have you noticed a big fall off of views? Are they still gaining lots of views? Is their account growing? How's their engagement? Are they getting comments? Are they getting people asking how to buy the product? Where can I find the product? These are all things that you guys want to look out for. I'm going to show you guys an example of a product that recently came up. All right, so this product over here got 2.8 million views not too long ago, around 5 days ago to be exact. And what you're going to want to do first is look below and try finding comments of people asking where can they find the product. Let's see if I can find it. So how does it work? Need this. There you go. Need this. If you can find comments of people asking, I need this, where can I find this, I want to buy this, that is what you guys want to look out for. Now, another thing is, when was their most recent upload? They uploaded 2 days ago, which isn't too bad. It's still under 48 hours. So this product isn't too bad. That's pretty much what you guys would be doing when you guys search for products. All right, guys, in this section, I'm going to cover how to build a Shopify website for TikTok organic, what's important when working on a Shopify store specifically designed for TikTok traffic, and how you guys can design a high converting store for TikTok traffic. Now, whenever you guys are building a store for organic traffic, there are a few things you guys want to take for consideration. You want to make sure to have product lifestyle images. You want to make sure to look branded. You want to be very credible. You want to have very visible shop now buttons so that the customer can purchase very easily. Remember guys, TikTok organic traffic usually have low attention span. So you want to make sure that you make the shopping process very simple. Whenever you guys are done building a Shopify store and you guys make a TikTok account, you want to look out for the sketchy link icon that appears. Now, if you guys get the sketchy link icon, which I'm going to show you guys what it looks like in a little bit, you guys want to make sure that does not appear because that absolutely kills your website's conversion. Nobody wants to enter a store that is unsecured, and I promise guys, if this issue pops up for you guys, consider yourself losing lots of sales. Now, a quick way to fix it is by going to Shopify and reducing your URL handle. This is what it looks like. All you gotta do is go to product pages, scroll all the way down, URL and handle, and all you do is simply remove all the unnecessary words. A lot of the times, a lot of the unnecessary words are going to have AliExpress or whatever supplier you linked it to. So you wanna make it very simplified, just 3 words, 1 word, 2 words. The less the better. Whenever you guys are building your Shopify website, you wanna make sure to keep the theme colors very simple. You do not wanna use too much colors that do not fit your niche or product. You do not wanna mix up the colors too much. For example, if you're using white, blue, and black, you don't want to start throwing red and green in there. You want to keep it very minimal and modern. And I've noticed that 3 theme colors work the best. So white, gray, and black usually work very good. Or white, black, and light blue work very well for me as well. You want to make sure to avoid Powered by Shopify because it increases the credibility of your website and your brand. Now, avoid Powered by Shopify. This is kind of what it looks like. If you go to your footer after making the website, you're going to have this little section, Powered by Shopify. Now, what it should look like is this. Now, your product page and your landing page is your number 1 priority. Most people, most customers are going to be landing on your product page. So you need to have a very high converting, very nice, credible looking product page. That's all that really matters, guys. So make sure you guys are focusing on creating a great, credible looking product page. Now, you need to have a great landing page that is simple, professional, and easy to complete a purchase. I cannot stress this enough. You want to make the purchasing process very simple. You want to use shop now buttons in every segment that you can. And when building your store, you guys do not need a paid theme. I'll be the first one to tell you guys. You don't need a paid theme. Don't spend unnecessary money on a paid theme, guys. I want to save you guys money, and that is what TikTok Organic is all about, right? So don't use a paid theme. Use a free theme. Once you guys get sales, that is when you guys can then focus on buying a theme if you guys want, or you guys can even hire someone on Fiverr to make you guys the best professional looking website that you can ever dream of. A very good theme that I like to use is Refresh. It's free from Shopify, so I recommend you guys take a look at it. Also, you guys can experiment with Pagefly or Gem Pages. Alright guys, so this is what I mean when I say I don't want you guys to have a sketchy link. When you click on it, it shouldn't show this. This should not pop up on your TikTok account. And this is what I mean by a long URL. This guy doesn't know, that's fine. You don't want to have a long URL because that will flag your account. Now I'm gonna open the account anyways just to see what his store looks like. Alright, so from what I've noticed, he does have Powered by Shopify. That's one mistake. I don't know why the add to cart is all the way in the bottom, and he doesn't have the remaining pages that he needs, such as privacy policy and terms of service and about us. You guys don't want to add that. I like how this account tried using scarcity, but I personally don't think this works well on TikTok. Believe me guys, customers will know that you're bullshitting them, and that's the last thing you guys want because consider credibility out the window. Pretty much guys, I would just change the font and keep it very simplified. His colors aren't too bad. I would remove the add to cart. And yeah, that's pretty much about it.
So the first thing I want to cover or talk about in a TikTok account setup is using a VPN. And in reality guys, if you're in a first world country, you don't need a VPN. So if you're in a country like Canada, the UK, Australia, you don't really need a VPN. They're actually some of the best performing markets we've been in. And the thing about going viral on TikTok, you don't just stay in one country. You get shot out all over the world. On some of our bigger accounts, only about 30% of our followings in the US. The rest is overseas. So the only time I would even consider using a VPN or recommend it maybe is if you're in a third world country and you're trying to start off in the US market. But even then, you don't even stay in the US market once you go viral. You get shot out all over the place. So a very popular VPN, if you do decide to use one, is Nord. A lot of people have had success with that, using that and a US SIM card that you can buy off eBay or wherever you choose to buy one from. The first thing you want to do when you make your TikTok account, you want to sign up with Gmail, preferably the same one you made your Shopify store with. You don't want to use a personal email. You don't want to mix them up, and you don't really want to use your phone number because you can only use it one time. Like once you use it, that's it. And when you pick your username, when you're selecting a username, you don't want to use any symbols or numbers. You want to keep it professional. You want it to match your brand and your website name. If you can't get your exact name, just use your domain names. You can add .com to your username. That's fine. That's like the only time I would be okay with like using a dot or something or any kind of symbol if it's your domain. And you also want to keep it as a personal profile. You don't want to use a business account because we have a little theory going on that business accounts limit your views because business are more likely to spend money on promoting their videos. And you're also limited on like audios and certain features on a business account. And there's no benefit of having a business account anymore. Back then, you used to be able to place a link if you had a business account under 1,000 followers. But now for both of them, you still need 1,000 followers. So there is no real benefit. TikTok will push you out more as a personal account. So you want to make sure you don't have a business account and you go for a personal account. A lot of people ask us this. And just to clarify, personal account 100% all the time. Setting a profile picture, you want to select a high quality image. This can either be your brand logo, it can be your product, the product you're trying to make videos on, and you can even add a video, but it's optional. You don't have to. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. And when you select your account name, this is different from your username, as you can see from this picture. This is your username and your account name is above. You can change your username every month. Your name, they changed it to where you can only change it once every 7 days now, I believe. And this can be anything you want. It can be just your aqua balls, like this one right here, just aqua balls, nothing crazy. And their username is their domain, but they didn't have a website here. The shorter the better. You want to keep it simple. You can even add the trademark symbol if you want to seem a little bit more branded. We've done that a few times as well. And when you make your bio, and don't be afraid to use emojis. Like these use emojis perfectly. Like this emoji lines up with their logo right here, like the water drops and like the water drops on the edges. This is very common. We see a lot of people do this, but then there's a lot of people that don't use it, and sometimes it just looks a little bit weird. But this is a perfect example of something that's pretty good. But I would at least have 2 lines. 3 is good as well. Preferably 3 if you can, but 2 is fine. Then you can just have your link. But overall, this is a great bio. You can replicate something like this as well. All right, so before you even start posting videos on TikTok, you want to have videos in your drafts. This shows TikTok that you're going to be a valuable creator that's going to be putting out content. And you want to have at least enough videos for 3 to 5 days, preferably a week. So if you're posting for 7 days, that means you need at least to have 21 videos. But 3 to 5 days works pretty well as well. But before you post your first video, you want to make sure you've had the account for at least 24 hours. It's a good rule of thumb because if you post right away, right after you make your account, within like the first, say 20 minutes, TikTok might not push you out. You might shadow ban your account. We don't know exactly why yet. We might think because TikTok may see it as spam, but generally accounts that have that you wait a 24-hour period before you post your first video after making the account or creating the account, they seem to do better. So within that day, the 24-hour period, you can just draft up your videos, edit them, so you have plenty of time to do all that. In order for you guys to get a link on your guys' TikTok account, you need to reach 1,000 followers. This is why we say the business account isn't worth it anymore, because for both of them, you need to reach 1,000 followers before you're able to place your website on your account. And once you reach 1,000 followers, you're also unlocking your Creator Next. You still got to join it, but you need to at least have 1,000 followers, have at least 1,000 views on a video in the last 30 days, and post at least 3 videos in the last 30 days. So this is the requirements, and you also got to meet the age requirement, which I believe is 18. Pretty much what this does, it unlocks more analytics, so you're able to see where your views came from, what countries, and you get more insights on your videos. It's a great little feature. One last thing, when you get to 10,000 followers, a lot of people are tempted to sign up for the Creator Fund. We prefer not to do it. Sometimes we might do it, but the Creator Fund only pays between $20 to $40 per million views, and you risk being suppressed. Dropshipping accounts can make you between 1,000 to 3,000, sometimes even more, just depending on how good your product is. So it's not worth losing this amount of money over $20 to $40. So we don't recommend you guys sign up for the Creator Fund. Alright, so now we're going to talk about how to create TikTok videos, basic rules, and how you can structure it. Alright, so some basic rules is you need to start off your video with a hook or something that catches people's attention in the first few seconds. It's pretty simple, but you'd be surprised. The thing is, on TikTok, the attention span is very short, so you need to grab the viewer's attention as fast as possible, whether it be with the wording or the actual footage itself, preferably both. And you also want to remove moments in your videos where nothing is happening or dull moments. This is probably the biggest tip I have for you guys if you guys starting off. A lot of you guys, when you guys first start off, you guys have like 15-second videos that in reality can be 12-second videos, and like removing these dull moments where nothing is happening will improve your watch time, which will allow TikTok to push you out further, because when nothing is happening, even if it's somewhere in the middle or towards the end, it's not just in the beginning. Like, they'll skip halfway through a video if they start to get bored, and it's very fast too. It doesn't take very much. So your videos should be like fast paced, very engaging. And if you want to use like longer clips in your videos, you got to ease them into it. So you got to start off with like maybe a little bit snappier intro, and like more towards the end, you can probably squeeze in like the longer clips, like say 10-second clips, 5-second clips. For your video length, it should be no less than 6 seconds. I've seen some people get away with 5, but majority of the times that won't work. But for beginners, I would stick generally around 7 to 12 seconds is a good spot. But TikTok has been pushing out longer videos, but I wouldn't start off there until you have some kind of experience on how to keep your viewer engaged. Basic video structure, I use this a lot. You start off with your first clip. You hook the viewer in with text. The footage can be you showing a feature of your product. You want to create some kind of curiosity, and this can be either 1 to 3 seconds long. And the second clip, you're showing off the product a little bit more. You're explaining a little bit more what the product is, and this is another 2 to 3 seconds. An example of this is you're holding it in your hand, you're turning it around, showing them a little bit more, maybe a different angle than the first one. And for the third one, you want to demonstrate the product and how it works or what it does, and this is also 2 to 3 seconds long. And for the fourth clip, you're demonstrating the product in a different way. This one can be a little bit longer since it's your last clip, 2 to 4 seconds, and you can even repeat it as well if you're going for a longer video. Another thing I want to talk about, guys, is taking advantage of your product and using all the features you can. So if you have a product that you can create ASMR videos with, definitely that's something you want to take advantage of. ASMR is huge on TikTok. Also, you can recreate sounds to sound better than the original. This is a huge plus, or you can even amplify certain sounds in your videos so it sounds more satisfying. Also, creating any cool transitions, say your product has lights, it changes colors, you can create some pretty cool transitions with that. If you have a product that you can like connect to a trend, that's something that you really want to do. Even if you think the trend might not do so good, trends are probably the easiest way to gain traction on TikTok. Alright, so for some editing apps that I've used, I've only really used Splice and CapCut. They're both very good. I know CapCut has some very good features and they're very well integrated with TikTok. Alright guys, so this video is one that I thought was very good. It's a little bit on the shorter side. It's only 5 seconds long, but it's to the point and it's pretty easy to understand. And the hook they use is if every basketball and volleyball player saw our traction wipes and they paired it with the perfect trending audio that it says it would be so awesome, it would be so cool. So it makes perfect sense.
It would be so awesome. It would be so cool.
So pretty much it explained who the target was and it catches these people's attention. So if someone was a volleyball player or a basketball player, they would watch this. It grabbed their attention pretty easily. Alright, so this is another video that I thought was very well executed. It's 22 seconds long. It's a little bit on the longer side, but like I said, TikTok seems to be pushing out some of these longer videos. It's a very good product. They did a lot of ASMR with it. It's a great example of how you guys can do it when you guys are unboxing a product. They took advantage of pretty much every feature, the spinning, the lights, the sound it made when it beeped. So I think these earbuds are pretty cool. Alright guys, that's it for this section on TikTok Organic. I hope you found it useful and you guys enjoyed it.
If you guys have any other questions, feel free to message us on Instagram and the Discord. Wish you guys the best. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video.
Hey guys, welcome to the next part of the free course. This section we are going to talk about automating your business and hiring virtual assistants. To get started, I'll tell you a backstory of mine with virtual assistants. I was having an internship at a consultant company and they asked me to do some boring tasks all day. That time I was living in Medellin, Colombia, and wanted to discover the city and the country rather than spending my time writing articles about topics I didn't really care about. At the same time, after work, I was reading the book The 4-Hour Workweek from Timothy Ferriss. If you haven't read that book so far, you should definitely do it. The main idea of the book is that time is the most valuable asset that we have, and we should try to outsource all tasks that we don't want to do ourselves to other people and enjoy our newly created free time. This leads us already to the first don'ts while hiring virtual assistants. After reading the book, I thought I could hire people for each and every task, pay them, and expect them to do the work. This is how I hired my first virtual assistant on Upwork, promising me that with $1,000 he will build me an Amazon FBA business and make sure that I get $2,000 in profit per month, where he has a monthly profit share of 10%. The offer sounded perfect to me and I chose to hire him immediately. After paying the $1,000, I expected that everything goes well and that I'll be making $1,800 profit every month now. Unfortunately, this wasn't the case, and the VA started to come up with some problems he had, setting up my Amazon account and other things I didn't understand. After 2 months, he stopped replying to me, and this is how I lost $1,000. The lesson here is to take care who you are hiring and don't fall for amazing offers you get out there. There are surely some competent virtual assistants out there, but you need to find them first and make sure that they show you past results. So the main thing that is going to be covered during this section is going to be how to find, hire, and train virtual assistants. And those topics are going to be structured as follows. We're going to start about discussing when to hire a virtual assistant, then what a virtual assistant can do for you, where to hire a virtual assistant, the costs of hiring a virtual assistant, how to create a listing on Upwork, choosing the right candidate for the job, where to be careful while hiring virtual assistants, then how to train your virtual assistant, then I'm going to talk about Monazar marketing, future developments, and at the end, how to get organized, like which tools you should use to get organized with your work. So the question is going to be like, when should you hire a virtual assistant? And there are 5 things that I recommend considering before hiring a virtual assistant. The first thing is going to be like, you should have consistent sales. Like you should have at least 5 to 10 orders per day, providing you an income, providing you also the job of fulfilling orders that is going to consume your time, while hiring a virtual assistant could be a job that you can outsource to help you free up some time. An important thing is going to be profitability. Like your profit margin should be big enough to generate you an extra income so you can afford hiring a virtual assistant. And the third thing is going to be like, you should be ready to scale your business. You don't want to spend your time like fulfilling orders and answering to customer emails and answering DMs and comments on your Facebook ads. You want to focus on the most important task for your business to grow, and this is when hiring a virtual assistant is going to be a good time. If I feel like my business is missing some skills, like negotiating with suppliers, or I want to have a better customer support, I want to have better graphics for my store so my customers have a better experience, then I feel like I want to hire a virtual assistant for the knowledge missing in my business. If you feel like your work-life balance is getting out of hand, like you feel like you're spending much more time working, you're spending much more time in front of your screen than with your friends and family, then you should really consider hiring a virtual assistant so you can really free up some time. In this section, we're going to discuss what a virtual assistant can do for you. The first thing, I always make sure that I outsource in my business is going to be order fulfillment. They fulfill orders every day, and that they add the tracking numbers to each order and that they get sent to the customers so we have less complaints and the customer knows exactly where his package is. But this is just a time-consuming task that I don't want to do myself every day, especially if I'm having 20 to 30 orders per day. I rather outsource that task. Then another important part is going to be customer support. Your business, as soon as you're starting getting sales and everything, you'll receive a lot of emails, like customers asking where the product is, that they have some questions and stuff like that. I have a perfect template that I give to every VA, so they know exactly how to answer. If they have specific questions, the customers, they can always come back to me and ask me what they should reply. 90% of all the questions are the same. Then another task that a virtual assistant can take care of is surely like a virtual assistant can create a store for you. He can do the whole product research. He can also manage PayPal and Stripe cases if you give them the access to, and run ads for you. So in my case, for example, I can just come up with a product idea, I give it to my virtual assistants team, and they build the store, the Facebook pages, everything ready. So I just have to focus on the creatives and make sure that I run Facebook ads. The next topic is going to be like where to hire a virtual assistant. There are many platforms out there. I'm just going to share with you the ones that I used myself, where I had good experiences with. So the first one is going to be Upwork. This is like one of the main platforms to hire virtual assistants. I'll be showing you the platform later on. How to create a listing and everything. And the second one is going to be Fiverr. There it's really easy like to find people. You can also see their past work there and also see their reviews. The costs of hiring a virtual assistant, like they depend on how much you demand, like how much time you demand from them. But if you want them to work full time for you, do the whole stuff, you can expect average costs between $300 and $500 per month for order fulfillment and customer support and some extra tasks. Just something like really to be careful with is, if you find very cheap virtual assistants, you should really do a bit more research on the quality of their work, because I experienced that too. Like I hired virtual assistants for literally like $100 per month, but the quality of work wasn't that good, and can literally like ruin your business if you tell them like to change something on your store or a product description. If the virtual assistant is not good enough, he can literally like just throw away all the work that you did before. To create a listing on Upwork, it's pretty easy. You just go to upwork.com, then you can click get started, then you can hire for a project or work as a freelancer. We want to hire, then just accept the terms and conditions. As soon as you arrive here, you can write a headline for your job post. So here we're going to use virtual assistant for Shopify. Then here, what are the skills that we are looking for? Like here you can click virtual assistant, you can click Shopify, email communication here, customer service. Ping is nice if they have it. We type in order fulfillment, because those are the main two things that I want to outsource in the beginning, like my customer support and order fulfillment. Depends like how much time you want to invest. Here I always choose like medium, and here for how long will your work take, we start with like 1 to 3 months just to see how the quality of our virtual assistant is. And I'm looking for either intermediate or expert. Entry is going to be difficult in the beginning for us if we want like an experienced guy, and that's why we can choose intermediate. In my case, I don't like to pay people by hour, because I can't really track how much time they have invested into the task. I always use project budget, $300. As soon as you arrive to this page, you will see like headline, virtual assistant for Shopify. You can add Shopify dropshipping. Then here for the job description, you can type in like, I want to hire a virtual assistant to outsource task fulfillment and customer support. Then you can also add like experience with Shopify is preferred and experience with customer support is preferred. And if you have some files that you can attach, you can surely upload it. Then here we see again, like we want virtual administrative assistants. That's right. Those are the skills that we require. Then we want to hire them for 1 to 3 months, intermediate level, and the budget is $300. Here, that's also very important. You can add screening questions. Example, like write your own question. Then you can just ask them like, what's 2 plus 2? Why to do that? Because there are some people who are like freelancers who have automated system that like sends them emails as soon as posted for virtual assistant, and they immediately apply to it. We want to filter out people who exactly read our question, so this helps us with the screening in the beginning. Like if we see that somebody answered this question he read the job description, and if you have some advanced preferences, you can definitely add that. But in the beginning, I just click post your job now. Then here it gives you automatically like a list of people they suggest that you can work with. You can invite them to the job. Then you can already see like they have the number of completed tasks on Upwork. After 1 or 2 days, you will get some applications, and then you can screen all the applicants, and we will discuss later on how to choose the right one. And here you can just add your credit card, your credit card details or your PayPal account, but we can skip that for now. Then here you can add some information about your company. We can choose, for example, that if we have a health and fitness store, for example, or fashion and beauty, you can just select that. It's just me, and then click continue. Here you can just come up on jobs, click my jobs, and then you will see like after 1 or 2 days how many people you hired. The proposals will appear here, and you can screen through all the people that you want. So the next topic is going to be like, as soon as you get those applications to your task, how to choose the right candidate. Just apply to the task, or have they really read our job post and also saw the screening question, and did they reply to it? So people who didn't reply to that question, I would generally not consider, because I just feel like they just apply to the task without seeing what it actually is. Then the second thing that I consider is like checking their experience and their availability. Like I want to see what they did in the past. Did they have experience with Shopify or customer support? Can tell me about past experiences they have. And then I also want to know how much time they can invest. Like are they students? Are they having another job? They really invest the time to work with me full time. If I want that, if they want to work full time, but generally, like, do they have enough time to invest? Another thing I have a look at is like how good is their English, because my customer support is mostly going to be in English. So it's not the spoken English that I have a look at, but how is their typing, how is their writing, how is their grammar, just to make sure that my customers then later on have also a great experience with my customer support representative. And then if there are some previous reviews, I also check them and also ask them for a portfolio, for example, if they did previous work with other people, and check what they did before. And the third thing that I have a look at is like the soft skills a little bit. How's the communication? Like, do they reply fast to me, or do I have to wait like 3 to 4 hours till they reply again? Nice to have a conversation with them or not. And then with time, like I just ask myself, likable, and then also check like their general intelligence, because like I'm searching for a team member. I'm searching for somebody who works with me for the long term, and that's why soft skills are also important. Next thing we have a look at is like how to train your virtual assistant. Thing in the beginning, like as soon as you hire a virtual assistant, you have to be there. Like you can't just expect to do my customer support and then just leave them. They have questions in the beginning. They want to see like what are the do's and don'ts in your business, and that's why I would really suggest that in the beginning you are there. You help them setting up everything, and you show them exactly what you want and what you don't want, and how everything should be done. And also, like in the first weeks, you should have low expectations because they are just starting, but with time. Second thing is for you should be like approachable and open for questions. Like I mostly give them my WhatsApp number. Every time they have a question, they can just text me and make sure that I answer their questions fast, so they know exactly what needs to be done and what not, and like discuss all the do's and don'ts, what they should do and what they shouldn't do. Third thing I really suggest is going to be like to control the work. So for example, if a virtual assistant is doing your customer support, go and read the email sent, check if everything is done properly, and also give feedback if there is something that you think could be done better, and also discuss reporting. Like they should like send you a daily report with all the emails sent and the queries that they had, or if you want them to have it weekly or monthly. Like just make sure that you control the work because if you don't control the work, maybe some things are done in the wrong way and could harm your business in the long run. Discuss like where to be careful with your virtual assistant, especially in the beginning. And here I really suggest, for example, if a virtual assistant is doing the order fulfillment for you, is to use debit cards in the beginning, up the amount that is needed, and so the virtual assistant can spend the money, because we don't know what could happen like with a credit card. Maybe there are some transactions that are going to be done that are not related to the business and could harm you also. That's why I would suggest using debit cards, and then also follow the transactions just to make sure that the money is spent for order fulfillment and not for something else. The second thing is then it's also going to be for logins. You can give access to your private accounts. I'm doing that too, but I have trust in my virtual assistants. If you don't, you can create new passwords, or for example, for the Shopify store, you can add them as a staff member with limited permissions. Like for example, I wouldn't give access to payment providers and stuff like that. Always follow the work done. Check emails are correctly replied to, if the orders are fulfilled in the right way with the virtual assistant. So if, for example, if you have hired a virtual assistant only for customer support and order fulfillment, you can check their skills and you can increase their salary, but at the same time give them more responsibilities, for example, to create a store for you, or to make the product research, or negotiating with the suppliers. If you have the opportunity to give them more responsibilities and more tasks, you should definitely do it. Here I want to give a shout out to my team. Like, you can start as virtual assistants together, like hiring as a virtual assistant, but with time, my virtual assistants now are my business partners. Like, I'm working with them, and teamwork makes the dream work. So we push each other. In this section, we're going to talk about how to get organized. So after you've hired your virtual assistants, you need to get organized to make sure all the tasks are fulfilled, all the work is done, and that you can track the to-dos that need to be done. And for that, I'm using two tools. The first one is going to be Trello, which helps me managing the tasks and the project. And the second one is going to be WhatsApp, like just for daily communication. Make sure that you ask questions, that they can ask you the questions and everything. But now I'm going to take you through Trello to show you how you can set up everything. So to get started with Trello, you just need to type in trello.com and then here click on sign up. Here you can see your workspace. You can have some the boards where you organize your tasks. You can also use some templates, but we will discuss that later. And generally, the first thing that I like to do here is just to click away everything that I don't need. Here you can add your members. You can just type in the email address of your virtual assistants, for example, and invite them. So here you can click on plus, and you can type in your workspace name for our new store. So here we're going to call it, for example, Esperanza Store. Then workspace type, it's going to be, for example, if I want to organize the tasks of my customer support team, then I select human resources. You can add a description if you want, but you can just click continue. Then here you can add the email address of your virtual assistants. Here you will have some templates that you can have a look at you on how to organize your board. Just in the beginning, we're going to build our own board just to show you how this works. So here, for example, you can type in customer support to-dos. And here you can choose the background. I like to use the blue one, so it's really clear and organized. As soon as you arrive here, you can organize that exactly like that. I just leave it structured. Those are cards where you can add like the topic of the stuff. Here it's organized like there is the to-do. Here the virtual assistant can add the card to doing, and if it's done, you can add it to done. So for example, here we are going to add our first to-do, and this is, for example, read the Monazart template, okay, for the virtual assistant, so he knows exactly how to answer as soon as he gets questions on email, your virtual assistant's email, and then they can join this board. You can click on the card itself, for example, and you can add the member, like your virtual assistant, that you want the task to be finished. For example, if you want the task to be finished till Saturday 11th, you can just click save. And yes, you can also add some labels. For example, if it's a very important task, you can just add here the red one. Name it, for example, very important. Everybody knows that this is a task that needs to be done ASAP. As soon as the task is listed here, you can add other ones. So for example, reply to customer C, for example, or then you can also add a task like prepare a new email address, and you can list all the tasks that you have here. And then as soon as it's being done, you can just, the virtual assistant can just move it here, and you can see exactly like what is still in the to-do phase, what is being done, and what is actually done as soon as it's moved here. So this is how to organize your tasks, how to have an overview over the small tasks that you have, and yeah, make sure that all the to-dos are being done. So every time you have a new idea for the customer support team, every time you have a new task that you think needs to be done, you can just add it here to the to-dos. Every member in this board will see the new to-dos, and they know that they have to do it, and you can monitor like what is being done and what hasn't been done, just to make sure that you move forward with your business. Another thing that we can do, as soon as we come back here to the dashboard, we can create a new board. Again, if I want to have, for example, my whole team inside the Trello dashboard, and I can just name this board Esperanza team, and then again, like, you can choose another color, for example, and then you just click create board. Everybody sees what everybody else needs to do. You can, instead of naming to do, for example, you can name this one customer support. You can add the tasks below. So for example, if we have a task for the marketing team, like for example to create TikTok account, and then for example run Facebook ads to influencers, you can add it here so everybody sees what everybody else needs to do. And then again, here we can add labels. So for example, if creating a TikTok account isn't that important, but we can just name it important instead of very important. Done till, for example, on Sunday the 12th at 1 p.m. and then just click save. The thing here is, for example, if the task is already done by the marketing team, they can just click the check button here, and then we will see it here as done. As for example, the date is approaching and the task is still not done. So for example, if they have to do it till today and the task is still not done, it will appear yellow and it will say due soon. Okay, so all the people will know like, hey, this task needs to be done and it's not done. And then the worst case, for example, where I have to be very strict, is if the task was supposed to be done yesterday, it will appear red. And those are the parts where you just need to go and ask, hey, what's going on? Why are you not moving forward with this task? And if they need your help, you have to be there. This is how to get organized. This is how to have a whole overview for your team, how to get structured, how to, for you also, how to have overview of the tasks that need to be done. In this section, we're going to talk about Monazar Virtual Assistants. This is a virtual assistant company that I have built with my personal VAs, given that I have good connections with them and they have a huge pool of talent that they can make sure that business people are not getting scammed. Because in my case, I got scammed like 3 or 4 times from VAs, and I just wanted to have a security and build a security for other people doing the same like me, dropshipping or in e-commerce, or just generally want to outsource some tasks. And I just wanted to make sure that it is scam proof and that I have trained people, and also make sure that I pay fair salaries to the virtual assistants and improve their quality of life. So if we talk about the benefits of Monazar Marketing briefly, you will find virtual assistants here who are Shopify trained. They are reliable. It's a very easy payment, like it's a subscription form on the website itself, so you don't have to worry about bank transactions and stuff like that to pay your virtual assistants. The third thing is you're going to have me as a contact person for questions and uncertainties. Contact person, which is a little bit missing for me, for example, on platforms like Upwork and Fiverr. And the fourth thing is that you have a 7-day money back guarantee, so you can hire a virtual assistant. But if after 7 days you feel like, hey, I don't need one, or this virtual assistant is not good enough for me, or something like that, you immediately get your money back. Hey guys, this is it on how you can hire virtual assistants for your business.
Welcome to the bonus section of the course. My name is Matthias, and I'll be walking you through copywriting and creating offers. This means that you learn how to write descriptions that actually make people want to buy the product you're selling, and you'll also learn how to create offers so good that your customer would literally feel stupid saying no to that offer. Copywriting is literally a skill you're going to be using at all times in any online business, and it's not just e-commerce. If you start with e-commerce and then you want to do something as well, aside from e-commerce on the side, you will need to use copywriting again eventually. It is the only way we can communicate with and persuade people in our stores, so it's a skill you absolutely need to learn if you want to stand a chance at persuading someone that buying your product is the perfect fit for the customer. Put it simply, we're using copywriting to tap into our customers' emotions and push those emotions in the direction of a buying decision. As you can probably tell, in order for us to tap into a customer's emotions, we first need to know what those emotions actually are. And this requires customer research. And don't worry, you're not gonna sit there and scroll through medical papers and all that stuff. I found I'm gonna present you with 2 very simple ways that you can find these emotions that your customer is having and find them fast. Now, the first one I'm going to talk about is Amazon reviews. Search for gym product, because we are moving into the season where home fitness and gym is very important. And I found this Pilates bar. What we're going to do, if I'm going to research if I wanted to sell something similar to this, I would go to this section here that just said ratings. And I could start by looking at these recently used or often used terms that Amazon gives to us. And what we're really looking for here is we're looking for the reason that the customers bought and the reason they liked it. So why they liked the product. So I can look at any of these and say, all right, are these reasons that they like it? All right, it's easy to use. That could be a reason why they like it. Easy to assemble. It's well made. Highly recommend. Again, it doesn't really give us any idea, but we could click on it to see why they highly recommend it. And yeah, so this would be why it's easy to use. Now, these are fine, but they're also very limiting, because I want to figure out why people buy these, so why they bought them. And the easiest way to do this is not to read through hundreds of reviews. It's actually to scroll down, click on see all reviews, and then search for the word bought. Now, I already did this beforehand, but we can go through a few of them if you want to. So when I bought the Pilates bar to use while traveling in my RV. Okay, so this one is used for traveling. I bought a Walmart one. I like this, but it had issues with pieces popping off, so I bought this one, and this was definitely better. So this one was because the other one kept breaking, so this one was better. Wish I bought this sooner. I have used exercise bands. They work fine, except when I ended up so a band was slapping, so I bought this and it was better. Bought this to use at home, right? I freely admit that I bought this because I wanted the longer bar, so I already had one, wanted a longer bar, so on and so forth. But I've read through these before, and most of the people who buy this bought this for at home. And because the other ones they had were bad quality. Other way we can go about researching is looking into Facebook groups. Now, the way we do this is we simply go and join a Facebook group and start reading and searching in these groups of people who have problems you're trying to solve, have used products, or have product recommendations that we can look at. So the easy way to do that is we just go to Facebook. I searched for Pilates group, clicked on groups, and here are a few groups I can join for people who like Pilates. I can go read through those. I can search in the comments and read through different posts. So this one would be, this is a group for Pilates lovers, teachers, students, and enthusiasts, right? And here we'd go and see, well, what equipment do people who like Pilates recommend? Why did they buy this equipment? Why do they recommend it? Why do they like it? Right? Why they bought it, why they like it. Because these things are important. And you can do it here, Pilates equipment, right? So this is a group where people maybe even talk about Pilates equipment more often. So that will be a great way for us to go in and figure out, why do they recommend it, why do they like it, why do they buy it. What we're looking for, as I said before, is the reasons they buy and the reason they like it. And the reason people already bought will be the same reason people buy from you. So if you know why people buy, you will know what to write and what to focus on when you're going to sell this in your copywriting or in your description. From reading reviews, we can see that a lot of people buy the Pilates bar for at home, some for travel, but also because that the other Pilates bars they broke easily, or they wanted to not have just resistance bands, right? They wanted something high quality, something sturdy. This brings me to the copywriting formula we're going to go to. Now, it's called AIDA, and it stands for Attention, Interest, Desire, Action. A copywriting formula is, in the simplest terms, a guiding line for how to write what and when to write it. Don't worry, I'll show you an example store after I've gone through this entire AIDA section of how it's actually used by a real life brand to get really good results, right? Some have variations of this AIDA, but they all basically use the same segments in the same order. Again, there are some people who move around with some stuff to experiment, and that's fine. But they all use the AIDA formula. Now we're going to start with the first one, the A, and that stands for attention. Attention is the very first thing your customer will see on your page. In terms of copywriting and the description, that will be the product title. This is the most important one to get right, because if you don't get your customer's attention, it doesn't matter what you show or write after that, because if you don't have their attention, they will leave your page within 3 to 4 seconds. So everything else you've done, if you don't grab their attention, is absolutely useless if you don't manage to actually make them stay. And you do that by grabbing their attention. And in terms of writing, that's the title of your product. Now, the easiest way to accomplish this is, instead of writing just the product name, we would write the main benefit of the product or make a claim in the product's title. So instead of just writing, if you take the Pilates bar example, instead of just writing Pilates bar or your brand name and then Pilates bar, we would instead write something like world's sturdiest at-home Pilates bar. This way we incorporate that it is a Pilates bar, but we also touch on that it's for home use, because remember, people want to use it for home workouts and at home, and that it's sturdy, because we also saw people talked about that the other Pilates bar they used broke. So we make a claim that it's the world's sturdiest at-home Pilates bar. So we hit the things that's important to them, and we make a claim, and we mention it's a Pilates bar. That way we grab their attention and they want to learn more. And that brings us into the interest section. So here we literally just talk about the product's features, benefits, use cases, and how it works, and then so on and so on. And this part is typically the longest, as this is where you describe how this product will actually benefit your customer and why it will benefit your customer, how to maybe use the product, like how it works, where to use it, so if there's specific places they can use it, and also talk about what it is they're getting with this product. Like, so if it's the Pilates bar, they get the bar and the resistance bands, for instance, right? Might also talk about saying, why is it important to use a Pilates bar over something else? This is where we generate, funnily enough, interest in the product and what we're selling for the customer. One thing I want to mention is that whenever you write about a new topic, that could be use cases, how it works, where to use it, the benefits, it's important that you segment those into different sections with their own sub-headline. So it's easy for the customer to scroll through your page and find the information that they're looking for, because not all customers look for the same information. Maybe for some customer, how it's used is more important. But for another customer, the important thing is that it doesn't break, and they want to be able to see that it's maybe designed the right way so it doesn't break. If you want to get examples, we could write how easy it is to set up for home usage, right? How quickly you can do it and how easy you can do it. You might write a section about how we designed it so it won't break. You might write a section about how you can easily increase or decrease the resistances in the resistance bands. Or we might even make a section where we compare our Pilates bar to other Pilates bars to show that ours is a lot better and doesn't break and all that stuff. And then we get to the desire section. Again, don't worry, I'm going to show you a example store that you can take inspiration from that shows you how they structure the copy, how they start with attention, then do interest, desire, and action. But after interest, we get to the desire. Now, the desire section is probably the simplest and easiest one to create, but it's also the second most important one, because up until now, we've gotten their attention, which is the most important thing, but having their attention doesn't mean that they want to buy. First, they want to have an interest. So we gave them an interest in our product by talking about the features, benefits, use cases, so on and so on. But they still don't have a desire for it. They don't desire the product. And we need them to desire the product before we can ask them to take action and then purchase it. Now, there are a few steps in the desire thing that we need to take care of. So there are reviews, offers, guarantees, FAQs. And this is also the order that we want it to come in. The very first thing we do is we give them our customer reviews or testimonials, and as many as possible. Now, if you're using a Shopify theme and not building like a landing page or a sales page, then you can either copy paste some of the reviews in quotation marks in the description, or you can refer them to where you have like the Looks app or whatever app you use for reviews. It could be further down or in a tab. You can say we have reviews here, so they can go and view those. Or you can have screenshots from your Looks reviews or your Facebook reviews and post them in the description. It's not really important which one you choose, but it's important that you mention that you have a bunch of reviews, because that's social proof, and having other people like the ones who are viewing your page having success will increase the desire to also have that success. So after we've shown our reviews, it's time to highlight and talk about our special offer if we have one. This is where you could talk about the free ebooks you might have, your bonus physical products, or whatever else you might have as your special offer. If you don't have a special offer, you can also simply highlight the discount you're giving. If you didn't work on a more unique or special offer, you can simply just do that and that will work just fine. The important part here is that you remind them or show them that you have an amazing offer, because that will also further increase the desire to see, wow, this is a great offer. Boom, more desire. After that, we're gonna write our guarantee. The type of guarantee that we recommend is covered in the offers part of the course, but this is the place where you write it in the copy. Now, if you have a standard 30-day, 100% money-back guarantee, then you need to write it after you have showed the offer. Again, some people will write it above the offer, but a lot of people will, instead of doing it above the offer, they will actually do it above the reviews. So this is guaranteed, then the reviews. Now, the reason I recommend doing the guarantee after the offer is simply because you increase the desire and then remove the risk, which in turn gives more desire. I do, however, recommend you put more thought into guarantee than just having a standard 30-day 100% money back guarantee, as it can boost your sales overnight having a great guarantee. I'll show an example later on how you need to structure the guarantee. It's very, very, very simple to do, and I'll show you that on the example page I'm also going to show you. Quick note is that, again, you can choose to have the guarantee above the reviews or above the offer. Now, the last thing you need in your desire is an FAQ. Now, an FAQ doesn't necessarily increase desire, but it does make sure that the desire doesn't decrease. Because there are things in your copy, like in the interest section, that the customer might not have read. They might have scanned through it because that wasn't as important, or maybe they didn't read it thoroughly or they forgot. So you want to have an FAQ to answer all the other questions that your customers might have, because one of the number one reasons someone don't buy after reading an entire page of descriptions and sales copy is that there was missing information that was important to them. Having an FAQ and creating one is super easy, because if we go back to the Amazon page here and we go to the product page, there is a little section that says 23 answered questions. This is literally an FAQ. You can copy and paste with some edits these into your own FAQ. And you have an FAQ of real life questions that people asked on Amazon on a product that has 2,000 reviews. What you can also do, if you know there are competitors, you can take inspiration from your competitors in terms of what type of frequently asked questions they have. You can also look at Facebook comments on your ad, competitors' ads, see what questions they're asking about the product, and make sure that they're answered in an FAQ. All right. The last one is action, and it is as simple as asking them to buy. It's also the last step of copywriting. Now, here in Actions, we simply tell people to get your product by clicking add to cart or get mine now, whatever it says on your button. If you want to put more effort into the action section, which I recommend you do, you can also restate your main benefits and end off with saying get yours now, click add to cart and whatever. So if you take the Pilates by example still, you could say something like, if you want to get a good workout burn from the comfort of your home, then get the sturdiest at-home Pilates bar that not only allows you to get started in seconds, but also works out your entire body. Simply click add to cart and we'll ship it to your door in as little as 5, 10, 15, 20 days, whatever your shipping time is, right? Now, the words you use will depend on the product itself, right? So if you write about the Pilates bar, you will use the words that you read about in the description, but also you're going to see what the features and benefits are, like you would use the resistance bands and how to use them. So that, of course, differs from product to product. And as you can see, it's not a hard process. It's really just 4 steps, more or less, you need to fulfill. If you take them one at a time from the top, it's going to be very, very easy. This, however, does take time, but trust me, it's 100% worth it to put the right time into copywriting, as this is literally how most big businesses are built. Now, I quickly want to say, before moving into the, depending on how simple your product is, you need to write more or less copy, or more or less text. For a product that has technology involved, you might want to have to write more, so that whenever you say, oh, this does this amazing thing, you need to provide proof that makes it believable. So if the technology, let's say, was a weight loss slimming device, you would need to tell them how it worked and why it worked that way in order for them to believe you. But if you're selling a whiskey glass, it's just a whiskey glass. Like, they know how to use the glass. But what you might want to talk about instead is just the design of it and how it was made, right? Maybe the history behind it, if there is something like that. And that would require a lot less text than the slimming device. Now, you still have to go through attention, interest, desire, action. So the attention would still be in the headline. The interest would then, for something like a whiskey glass, instead be the story behind the design. The desire will still be the reviews, your offer and a guarantee and an FAQ. And then the action would just be asking them to buy. So a whiskey glass might have 5 lines of text, while a slimming device might have 50, because they need to prove more things. And would you look at that? The product's title is not just air purifier, it's world's best portable air purifier, right? There's a reason this text here is the biggest. It's because it's the most important. And this is what grabs their attention. Then they have some extra like graphical stuff that's just supported. But this is really what's important. Now, the next thing is that they go into the interest. And as I also told you, that they have a different section with a headline for every different thing they talk about, so that people can scan through it easily. But what you don't see can still hurt you. So they talk about why it's important to have this, right? Again, you can take inspiration, have something similar about a Pilates bar if you wanted to. Why it's important to have a Pilates bar when you do Pilates, and you would talk about that. And then after that, they tell you how the product works, right? So what does it do? What is the benefit? It protects your respiratory system, right? That's the benefit. But how does it do that? And then again, because this is a technological product, they have to explain how it actually works. Again, for something like a whiskey glass or a Pilates bar, you don't really need this because the concept is very simple. But here it's not simple, so they have to walk people through it, right? Again, we're still building interest in the product. First, we're saying, okay, so this is why I need it. This is what it does for me. This is how it does it. And here are all the things that's great about it. So benefits, it's portable. You can take it in your car. It's create a healthy working environment. You can take it with you to the office. It basically helps you breathe better in your bedroom. So I guess it's also, helps sleep. And this thing here is perfect for every room in your house. Now, this one is something you really don't need most of the time, but the reason it's cool here, and I quickly want to point this out, is because this not only serves the point of saying it's great for these locations, this actually also helps increase the average order value for this company, because they're saying, well, you should actually get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these instead of just 1 or 2, because you need one for each of these types of rooms. So if you have 5 bedrooms, you might have a lot more of these, right? So this has a double purpose of showing that it's great everywhere, but also that you need one for every room, meaning you need to buy more of these. Give yourself and those around you a video explaining how it works, because this, again, just saying, oh, this is going to clean your air, people won't believe them. So they have to put a lot of extra work into making people believe the claims they are making. Again, with the Pilates bar, something more simple, you won't need an entire video like this at all. And then they tell them what's included in the package. Again, you would normally do this too. What is included? Well, you get 1 bar and resistance bands with the Pilates bar. You get 1 whiskey glass with a holder or whatever. The Desire section. Now, what they've done is they slapped the offer and the guarantee above reviews. Again, you can do that, and they have the guarantee. Now, for the guarantee, I told about I would show you how to structure it. What we want is, I don't really like this way of doing it. I think that it's because they have a lot of other information they want to get out there. But you want an icon so it's easy to spot. I typically have it as a section for of my own, kind of like reviews. But then you want to have the title of the guarantee. That could be 30-day 100% money back guarantee or 30-day triple your money back guarantee. So you have the title that grabs the attention. But then you want to kind of explain why you have this guarantee. So here they say, we're so confident you'll love Purifair that we offer a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. Try it today, risk-free. If you don't love it, you can return it within 30 days, no questions asked. If you want to do a conditional guarantee, like the 30-day triple your money back guarantee, we'd say, we're so confident you'll love Purifair that we offer a 30-day triple your money back guarantee. Try it today, risk-free. If you don't love it, you can return it within 30 days to get 3 times your money back. You've done these things. So we write, as long as you've documented that you've used it for 30 days, right? And you take whatever requirements you set for a conditional guarantee. That's how you would just edit it. It doesn't need to be a super long slab of text. If you do have what's called a conditional guarantee, you can also have a hyperlink that you can read more here, where you write how they need to do all the different things or how to fulfill the conditions, essentially. Now, what we normally do is we'd have the reviews above here, but they haven't, so that's fine. But they still have the different elements. They just put the reviews further down, right? So in the Desire section, which is what started here, we now go through the customer reviews. Now, I believe they have 5 highlighted reviews here. Some of them are videos, some of them are images. Videos always work better, but if you don't have images, if you don't have videos, you can just use images, and that's perfectly fine. So they have the highlighted ones, which are basically made to specifically target their perfect customer, and then they have all their other reviews down here. If you were to do this in a description, you would maybe highlight the best reviews by just copy pasting them into the description with an image and in quotation marks, and then just having your Loox reviews or whatever other app you use somewhere else. Or you can simply just say, hey, go further down or click on the review tabs to read our lovely reviews. We have the frequently asked questions, but again, they're not there to increase desire, but to make sure that there is no decrease in desire. Again, you can see that they have a lot of questions here. And again, you can just copy paste your own in from Amazon and get inspiration from competition on how to make their FAQ. And then at the end, they have an action. Now, what they haven't done here that I would recommend that they do is they have the same thing down here as they had at the very top, right? Except for the icons maybe. Now instead is they could have had world's best portable air purifier and then the text that says they should buy, or click the button below. So if you want to get an air purifier that can do these things, click the button below and we'll ship it to you in this amount of time. That is how that I believe they could have improved this, but it still works for them, so it still works. The point still stands that we start with attention. Now this one is just a slab on offer, but then we start creating interest all the way to down here, where we then go to desire. We show our offer, we have our guarantee, and then they also have a shipping, which they also have up here. And then they have the reviews. Again, I would put the reviews up here, but again, that's fine. You can kind of switch them around however you like. The important part is just that they're there. They then have more reviews and an FAQ to make sure that there's no decrease in desire because all questions are being answered. And then an action at the end, asking people to buy again at the end. A real life brand making a lot of money right now. I really recommend just you go through and watch the entire course before you go out and start this. You can always come back here and go through this again and again. Now, when you do copywriting, it's important that you don't skip out on the research, because if you don't research your customers, you have no clue what to talk about. You won't know what FAQs, frequently asked questions, are important. You wouldn't know what it takes to grab their attention. You don't know what they're looking for. And if you don't know what they're looking for, you also don't know what would generate interest, right? So we could say that they want to do it at home, they use it for Pilates, for traveling, and they say it doesn't want to break. They don't want it to break. These are all things that are important, so we're going to talk about these in the interest section, because this is what's going to interest them, increase their interest. And only when they have an interest is when they can like develop a desire. And again, the desire is made so that when we show people the reviews, they see other people who are just like them, who have a great experience and had great results. Maybe they've got more toned, maybe they lost weight. So now they start desiring the same results they got. Then we show them an amazing offer that's further going to increase the results because, wow, this is so damn good, right? I shouldn't say no. Then you show the guarantee to completely remove all risk, and you just ask them to buy. When going through this, I recommend that you start at the top, meaning you start from action. So you write the headline, like you do the research, then you write the headline. Then you start figuring out what do you need to write to generate interest. And you go back to the research you made in terms of reading the reviews and figure out what are important to people. It's easy to use. We saw that a few times. It gets you sore, like gets you good workout burn going. It doesn't break, it's sturdy. All these things are important. And you figure out, okay, cool, I want to talk about that. It's sturdy. And you go to the product page and say, why is it sturdy? That's because it's made of this material. Great, you write about that in the interest section. These are important to talk about why the customer needs it with the benefits, right? So whenever there's a feature, it's sturdy. Why is it important that it's sturdy? It's so it won't break. You'll have a great workout. You won't get damaged. These are the benefits. Offer is, in my opinion, one of the two most important things you will ever focus on, as this is the only reason someone will be able to sell anything. Now, if you have a product, fine, but you're still offering it to someone. You need a great offer to be able to have someone buy it. You can just have a simple discount, just slap a discount on your product and then call it a day. This approach is the laziest, least effective, and quite frankly, the least valuable type of offer you can show to a person that just landed on your page. You really don't just want a boring run-of-the-mill offer the customers won't even notice. And trust me when I say that, just simple discounts have been done so much that a lot of customers, they rarely even remember that there were a discount on a product. And some people don't even notice the discount anymore because it's just been done so much. What you really want is an offer so tantalizing that your customers literally want to crawl through broken glass on their bare knees just to get your offer. An offer so good, your customers would feel stupid just for saying no to it. An offer like this is literally what can take a product that's burning through your cash and turn it into a money-making machine that spits out more cash than you know what to do with. I've seen this happen for students and myself many, many times over. Offer like this, because it makes such a big difference, is really not easy to create. It will take you time, and it will take you some research to do, and it definitely requires trial and error, trying different things, switching things around. Don't worry, I do understand that not everyone can spend hours upon hours every day just trying to get an offer right. Some people have families, some people have jobs they need to attend to. So what I've done is I've made sure to include offers that are easy to implement, that does make a difference, and ones that are a bit harder and takes a bit of extra time to implement, but some that still pays off a lot when you get it right. Now, those are what I call base offers, and you can start using these pretty much immediately. Now, the first one I want to talk about is free ebooks and video courses that you're gonna add on as a bonus with your product. This is great as it allows you to give away a digital product, meaning you don't have to pay for shipping or anything, to your customers. That will greatly increase the perceived value for the customer. And the thing is that these pretty much cost you nothing. What you're gonna do is either create them yourself, or you're gonna pay a very small fee to get what's called PLR products. And you only have to pay for those ones, but they will increase your conversion rates forever, essentially. Simply go and search for PLR products, and it stands for private label rights products, meaning you can buy the product and then you can get it home, download it, and you can edit it, put your own branding on it, and sell it as your own. Now again, just Google PLR products. It doesn't really matter which of these you choose. They all have a lot of the same, some are different. I do, however, recommend you go through a few of them before you choose something specific. I'm just gonna click on this first one here. And what you're gonna do is you're literally just gonna click here, search for whatever you're selling. Example here could be if we're selling maybe a yoga mat or something like that, we could buy the yoga guidebook for $8. And we only have to pay this once. We can then put our own logo and everything on it. And for anyone who buys a yoga mat, they might want a yoga guidebook. So we could say, hey, this yoga guidebook, you can normally buy it on our store for maybe $20, but you're getting this for free with your purchase. So now we just added a $20, maybe even more perceived value in the customer's eyes that they're getting for free. And you can do the same with video courses. If you search for them, there are videos up here. So there might even be yoga video courses you could sell. So you can say you will even get our $200 yoga video course together with your purchase of this $50 yoga mat. Do you see what I'm talking about? They feel like they're getting $200 extra value for free for just paying $50. For a yoga mat, they would still pay $50 for without anything else. That's going to make even more people buy, and they're going to be a lot happier with their purchase. BOGO offers, which stands for buy one, get one offers. You may have heard of these before. BOGO offers is that the more extreme these offers are, and that means buy one, get one, you can say buy one, get one free, buy one, get one 50% off, but the more extreme they are, the better they'll work. And I'll quickly show you how to create BOGO offers very simply in Shopify, and also show an example of what I mean when I say the more extreme they are, the better they'll work. Just keep in mind that if you're going to run what's called a BOGO offer, your customers should already want higher quantities of whatever it is you're selling. So let's say maybe you're going to sell a chair. Maybe you sold a chair, an office chair for a home office. Now, typically people don't need more than one chair for themselves, so a BOGO offer in this case would not necessarily be a good idea. But what if you sold a glass instead? So a nice whiskey glass. Now, people would typically want more than one whiskey glass, so they have a set of 2, 4, or 6. So what you could do is you could say something like buy 2 whiskey glasses, get 2 for free. Now, of course, when you do this, you need to have your margins in mind. You need to make sure that you're still making money if you do a buy 2, get 2 free. What you simply do is you click on discounts, you click on automatic discounts and click create automatic discount. Then you can title it whatever you want. Just keep in mind that the customers will see this discount name, so don't name it something weird. I typically just say BOGO. You want to click on buy X, get Y, and then this is where you put in the BOGO offer. Let's say in this case, to keep it simple, we're saying buy 1, get 1 free. So we say buy 1, and then you're going to click browse and choose whatever product or products that's included in this BOGO offer, and get 1 free. And again, you're going to choose the product. Now, and you simply just click save discount, and then it's going to happen automatically. Now, keep in mind that for this discount to work, the customer needs to add 2 items to cart. They need to add the one they're going to buy and the one they're going to add for free. Shopify will not automatically add the second item for free if they only add in 1. So remember to write that the customer needs to add 2 to cart, and then they'll get 1 of them for free. Now, I also quickly what I mean when I say the more extreme they are, the better they'll work. I'll talk about this ad from Octobuddy. You've probably seen this around last year, where there was all of these reversible octopus plushies, but the offer they were running, and a bunch of people was running this offer because it worked so damn well, is buy 1, get 4 free. That sounds super insane, customer's perspective. If I buy 1, I can get 4 for free. That's crazy, and it does sound crazy. It's an amazing offer. That's what I mean when it's the crazier it is, the better. The reason this worked for them is because one of these plushies is pretty small. It's very light, so it costs almost nothing to ship out. The product itself is small, so it's very cheap to buy. If I remember correctly, they sold these for $30. Shipping out 5 of them to customers would cost between $10 to $15, meaning that they made at least $15 profit because they charged $30 when they made this offer. And because it was so good, I can imagine that they got sales for as little as $5, because at the same time this was happening, this product was also trending on TikTok. And these ads were probably being run on TikTok as well. So this is what I mean by saying the more crazy it is, the better. But always, always, always keep your margins in mind. This only worked because they sold 1 for $30. Selling 5 of them for that price would still make them very profitable. Next thing I want to talk about here is free plus shipping. This is one of those that if you were around in drop shipping around 2016, 2017, you may have remembered the era of free plus shipping when Facebook was super cheap, where you could sell products for free, then charge $6, $7 shipping, and then you would be profitable in the front end. You are very unlikely to be profitable in the front end. You can, however, be break even, which is the goal with this strategy, and I'll talk more about it in a second. Because a free plus shipping offer is undoubtedly the best offer you can run to get the cheapest sales possible. Again, it's very hard to be profitable in the front end with just a free plus shipping offer. So what you will need is a back end. So you need upsells and cross sells. And the way we typically do that is we use an app, One-Click Upsells by Sippify. There are multiple post-purchase and they need to have post-purchase available. The goal here is that we're gonna get a customer in the door super cheap, and then we're gonna offer them something related to that product. It could be that we offer them a product for free, and then we offer them more quantities of that one product at a great discount compared to the normal price. We sell them a product, and then we upsell a product to them that boosts the performance of the one they just got for free. We want to keep in mind that when we do the free plus shipping, the product we give away for free is cheap enough so that the shipping we charge, which shouldn't be more than $10, it can be $12 for some products, but I have a rule that it shouldn't be more than $10. So let's say you find a product for $3 and you charge $6 shipping. That gives us $3 profit. And because we're giving it away for free, we will have very cheap cost per purchase. So our goal is to have a $3 cost per purchase or less, which means that we're not losing money, not making money. But whenever we make an upsell, we're profitable from the beginning. The goal is to find upsells that does this. And I quickly want to show an example so you know what I mean. I found this product. Now I want to quickly say that I have not tested this product. I haven't researched whether or not this product is good for the skin or if it works or not. So a fair warning, don't go out and test this specific product without having done research into whether or not it's healthy for the skin and it actually works. Now, what we want to do is you can see that we can have 6 of these varicose vein patches. Varicose veins are something that a lot of people want to get rid of. So we're solving a problem. And for free plus shipping offers, I personally prefer having problem-solving products because first of all, they're easy to sell. If they're free, they're even easier to sell. So we can get 6 patches for $2. I'm just going to round down to $2 to make it simple. And what we might do is we might say you can get these patches, these 6 patches for free. They will last you, let's say 1 patch per day. So they will last you just around a week. And you can get them for free to remove your varicose veins. And we charge $6 shipping, meaning we will get roughly like $3 to $5 profit before Facebook ads. And because we're solving a very specific issue, we're going to target people who have this issue and they're going to want to get this for free, and we get it very cheap because it's free. Then we could upsell using the app. We could say, hey, do you want to buy more of these? So you have 1 year's supply. So you will be free from varicose vein for an entire year. So let's say that you get it for free. The normal price for 6 of these is $20. But now we say, so they get the first pack for free. And now we see on the upsell saying, hey, do you want more of these? But instead of paying $20 as a thank you for actually trying this out, we're going to give you it at a half price for $10 per 6 pieces. And we're going to offer to them to get maybe 60 pieces, or we're going to offer to give them whatever amount of pieces we want. Let's just say 60 pieces. So we say you're going to buy 60 pieces, so they're going to last you 60 days or however many days it's going to last them. Again, you need to do research on this if you're going to sell a product like this. We're going to charge them $10 per 6 patches, so we're going to charge them $60, meaning we now make $8 extra per 6 patches. We're going to make $80 profit on the upsell, and because they got this for free, they're going to be more likely to take the upsell. This is a concept called reciprocity that every human has. If they get something for free, they feel a bigger need to give back. And this is why free plus shipping offers are amazing, because they get something very valuable, which is also why we want to solve a problem for them. They get something very valuable for free. They just have to pay the shipping. And then now we even offer them a great deal on getting more so they can be varicose vein free for longer. And because they feel the need to give back, they're like, wow, they're giving me another great deal. I must take this because I would kind of feel bad if I didn't. This is the psychology going on in the mind, and this is why free plus shipping is so powerful. Imagine you got $5, $3 cost per purchase, and then every other person spent $80 more. That would mean that you on average profited $40 per customer and paid $5 for the sale. And the other good thing is that you get so many customers in the door because it's so cheap to get them that now you have a huge email list you can simply just use as your own personal ATM. Whenever you have a new product that can solve the problems your customers have, you send them a great deal, you make more money. You see where I'm getting with this? Why it's so powerful? When you do it right, again, it's going to take a bit of testing to find the right free product and the right upsell. but when you do, it's a gold mine. The fourth one we can do is called bonus physical products. Now, I don't have an example here because it's literally just a bonus physical product. Works the best if you can incorporate, but it's also the hardest one to get working right, because you need to find something that is massively valuable to your customers. It has so many benefits to them. It works very well together with what you're selling as the main product as well. But at the same time, you need to make sure that it doesn't screw over your margins. You need to make sure that you're still profitable and profitable enough when you add this product in. It is the one that will work the best when you get it right, but it's also the hardest one to get right because you're limited in terms of your margin. Now, the last one, again, I don't really have an example for that because most of you will have seen this. It's called quantity discount. This one is, again, pretty well known. Weakest one on the list. It will help increase your average order value. So again, if you take the example we had earlier with the whiskey glasses, we might have someone who would buy 2, now instead buy 4, because they would get a higher discount if they bought 4 glasses instead of just 2 glasses. So it will work with increasing your average order value, but it will rarely ever push someone who might buy to definitely buy. It will almost never do that. It will only have someone who will buy, maybe buy more. But I wanted to add it in anyways because it's so easy to set up. If you use a theme like Ecom Solid, or I believe Beautify have it too, then they are incorporated in the theme, or you can just search for quantity discounts on the Shopify App Store, and you will literally find like a ton of apps that can help you have quantity discounts. Now that you know what base offers you can choose from, we actually need to spice it up a bit more. Even though these are powerful enough on their own, well, at least the first 4 of them are powerful enough on their own to really boost your sales like to an absurd level, we want to make it even better. The way we do that is by incorporating urgency, scarcity, and a killer guarantee. Now, you need to make sure you have at least 2 of these. Have all 3, which would be amazing, but you need to have at least 2 of these. Guarantee, a killer guarantee, is a must, and then you can choose between scarcity and urgency. Now, in case you're not sure what they are, urgency is time related, so you can think the countdown time as you've seen. When you do urgency, it is important that you do it truthfully. Don't just have a repeating countdown timer. It does work sometimes, but it's unethical and it's actually not quite legal. And Facebook doesn't really like countdown timers. They're beginning to look down on those a little bit. What you do want to do with urgency is have a limited time sale. I'm recording this right now on Black Friday, but a great example would be, why do you think Black Friday works so well? Because it's a known, very limited period of time where retailers across the globe, both online and offline, have huge sales. They had huge sales all the time. Black Friday wouldn't be special, but it's because it's a very limited time there's huge sales. And you can have the same effect on your store if you have limited time sales, if you set a specific end date. Now, scarcity is pretty much the same as urgency, but it has to do with availability and limited availability. Now, this could mean that we say we're only going to give this bonus physical product to the first 100 customers, or it could be available to limited stock. We only have 5 of these left. Scarcity, that will make people buy because they want to be part of that limited quantity or availability of whatever you're offering. Killer guarantee, I'm going to talk a bit more about that one, because if you've just been using a satisfaction guaranteed or a 100% money back guarantee like the badge and nothing else, I can almost say for certain that having those will have made absolutely no difference in your results. So you need to have them because people need to see them. If you don't have them, it will be negative, but having them will not give you better results than other people who has them at all. That other people also do is at least be more specific, like with the time period, so 30-day 100% money back guarantee, and explain why they got 30 days. So you could say something like, we're so confident in what we have to sell that you can try it risk-free for 30 days. If you don't like it, write us and get your money back within 30 days, no questions asked. This is what's called an unconditional guarantee, because there are no conditions. They will get the money back if they ask. But if you really want to make your guarantee pop and get a chance to literally 3x your sales overnight, and yes, I've seen this happen multiple times, then you need to use a guarantee where your customer thinks that this can't be true, or maybe they're thinking this can't be healthy for the company. Another good rule is that if you're not a little bit uncomfortable giving such a good guarantee, then it's not good enough. These are where you give such a good guarantee, but there are requirements the customers need to fulfill in order for the guarantee to be valid. So an example would be 30-day triple your money back guarantee. Now, let's say we use the varicose vein patches as I showed earlier as an example. We could say we just sold them for like $20 and we said try these for 30 days and get triple your money back if they don't work. If you haven't gotten reduced varicose veins within 30 days, we'll give you 3 times your money back. Now, what we do here is we'd say, well, the requirements, and we're going to have a guarantee page that we're going to refer them to where they can read more, is we would say, what you need to do is you need to take an image before you start taking them with a timestamp. You need to take an image for every patch, for every time you use a patch as we instruct. So maybe one every other day or whatever you find out if you want to sell those. You're going to have one every other day with timestamps, and then an after you've used all of them with a timestamp, so that we can see if there is a visible difference. Now, the thing is, you're going to set your requirements to fit what the customer needs to do in order to get results. That means that if they want to qualify for the amazing guarantee, they need to do these things, and you know with certainty that if they do these things, the vast majority of the customers will get results, meaning the vast majority of your customers will be happy, which means that in the case of the varicose vein patches, meaning that the vast majority of your customers will come back for more patches and they will not ask for their money back. This is how you do a guarantee the right way. You make it super good, so good that the customers feel like instead of having removed risk, they're not only having their risk removed, but they're also gaining an opportunity of making more money if it doesn't work. And you just make sure that the requirements that you set are made so that they guarantee the customer's results. Another great example of a guarantee, this could be for weight loss, would be lose 20 pounds before spring or we'll pay for your dietitian. Again, the reason we say before spring is because in January, we have the fitness burst because of New Year's resolutions. So we could say lose 20 pounds before spring or we'll pay for your dietitian. Additional guarantee where you have conditions that needs to be met and they need to provide proof. Otherwise, they won't qualify for the guarantee. Urgency, scarcity, and then your killer guarantee, or at least urgency and killer guarantee. Again, 2 out of 3 if you remember. You should see a great increase in conversions once you hit the right combination of the offer with your product. Now, this is going to take time and it is going to take trial and error, but once you hit it, you won't regret it, trust me. Let's say we do the free plus shipping offer for the varicose veins, and we say we only offer it for free according to some Black Friday, so let's say Black Friday. Now, this is urgency, right? So people will act because, well, if they don't take this now, it's not going to be available in a week. And then our guarantee might be something like, if they don't reduce varicose vein, if they don't reduce your varicose veins, we will literally pay for you to get them medically removed. That could be your guarantee. What you can also do is you can have your guarantee on the upsell to really to further enforce people to take the upsell as saying, upsell again would be, they would normally cost 20, we're gonna upsell them more, but for $10 per 6 pieces, we're gonna say, we're so confident that if you don't like these, we're gonna give you triple your money back on however many you buy right now. So you can give them the triple money back guarantee on the upsell instead. That was it for creating offers and copywriting. My name is Matthias, and that is this part of the course done.
So guys, that brings us to the end of this free Shopify dropshipping course for 2023 by myself, Camille Saar, and the e-commerce mentoring team. So if you could really show your appreciation to everyone that's contributed towards this free course, like Mohammed, like Vedank, and like the other guys, that would be massively appreciated. Now, I hope you guys that have watched this have learned so much about Shopify dropshipping. I hope it's going to help you start your first Shopify dropshipping store, and I hope you guys can achieve your first $10,000, $20,000, even $100,000 with your store, because people that have watched the previous courses have been able to achieve 6 figures and even 7 figures as long as you put what we teach into practice every single day. So before I wrap up this video and leave you guys, I do want to say that if you do need mentoring and you need a bit more of a personal touch when it comes to learning this business, and you want to learn from experts directly through a Discord private community, through mentoring calls, and through loads of other great ways, and learning from myself directly as well, then I'd recommend that you check out the e-commerce mentoring program, which is a program that we've refined to the best capability, and it's a program that's been around now for 4 years, and it's battle tested as well, and it's led by multiple experts. Some of the experts that have been in this free course are also teaching in that mentoring, like myself as well. So if you guys want to apply for the mentoring that'll teach you TikTok organic, paid ads, everything else, then there will will be a Typeform in the description, but I'd recommend that you watch the course first, see how you get on. But if you do need a little bit more help and a little bit more one-to-one and you want to learn from these experts directly, then I'd recommend that you check out the mentoring by filling out a Typeform in the description below or in the pinned comment or in the cheat sheet. And if you are interested, I'd recommend that you apply as soon as possible because we only take on a limited amount of students each month. So I don't want you guys waiting months on months because we can be 6 months booked in advance. So I do want to let you guys know. But anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this free course. I hope you've learned a lot. If you could smash that like button, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment, that'd be massively appreciated. And don't forget to claim your free ebook by clicking the link in the description.